100,000 people attended the state fair this year in Sedalia. Several first-time responders and citizens from the St. Louis region are being honored by the Missouri governor. KTRS's Steve Potter has more.
On Tuesday, Governor Kehoe will award the state's highest public safety honors to both first responders and civilians for their life-saving actions across the state in 2024. Award winners from the St. Louis region include Alan Crook and Luis Carlos Garza for their assistance to a Hazelwood police officer who is under attack from an armed robbery suspect. St. Charles firefighter and paramedic Kevin Dury and St. Charles Fire and Police Officer Dennis O'Leary will be recognized for their part in a life-saving rescue at a burning home. An award will also go to Crystal City Police Officer Tyler Griffin for his part in ending a threat by a heavily armed man who already had killed one person and was firing a gun on a highway. And the memory of St. Louis Police Officer David Lee III will also be honored. Lee was killed when he was struck by a vehicle on I-70 in the city as he set up traffic cones to divert traffic away from a crash site. Governor Kehoe will present the awards Tuesday afternoon in Jefferson City. Steve Potter, KTRS News.
Federal dollars coming to St. Louis is in this KTRS Business Minute, brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. The Department of Economic Development has awarded a total of more than $16 million to 15 projects through its Community Development Block Grant Mitigation Program. Funded projects include capacity building, street and sidewalk improvements, warning systems, and mitigation planning strategies. And now let's take a look at the markets, brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement on Saturday mornings 9 to 11 a.m. Positive day on Wall Street today. At the close, the Dow Jones up 66 points to 46,381. S&P 500 up 29 points to 6,693. And NASDAQ up 156 points to 22,787. Now let's check sports and traffic with Captain Paul Kopsky.
Meep, meep.
Thank you, Captain Paul. KTRS weather today, mostly cloudy, high of 78. Tonight, cloudy, overnight low of 65. Tomorrow, rain and storms, much needed, high of 77. Right now, it's 76 degrees. The time is 3:08. I'm Sobe Bay, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
The Big 550 is here for you. To voice your opinion, chime in on the subject on air, and talk about whatever you want, it's the 9 a.m. open hour with McGraw.
Hey, McGraw, I don't agree with you all the time, but I respect your opinion.
He wants your feedback.
Girl, I love your 9 o'clock hour. You listen to everybody.
And interaction.
McGraw, I love your 9 o'clock hour and how you interact with the listeners.
If you can get a word in edgewise. 2 ways to get in touch. Text at 84126 or call in at 314-931-5877. The 9 a.m. hour with McGraw. It's all about you on the Big 550 KTRS, where St. Louis comes to talk.
What have we learned about Heidi?
But cockroaches were the least of her problems. Heidi had to fight for every opportunity.
You know, Heidi is, even though she's very kind of sweet and innocent,
Heidi wanted out of the slum, and her agent wasn't doing enough.
Oh my God, they moved Heidi right next to me now.
Although Heidi seems serene,
she's a bit naughty.
she uses an ancient folk remedy to help calm her down.
Heidi is back.
again. Happy Monday, everybody. Heidi Glaus with Bob Ramsey, Josh Gilbert, and we've got a lot to get to. I think it's going to be a fun show. First up, we'll talk to the co-founder of Evolution Festival. It is back this weekend. The lineup is pretty darn amazing. You got Lenny Kravitz, you got TLC, Marcus King Band, lots of bands to look forward to. And Steve Shankman will run us through everything you need to know about some of the other experiences, because it's not just music, and then also the ins and outs of getting into Forest Park. We'll run through all of that. We'll also check in with Alex Stone, learning a little bit more about this shooter outside a Sacramento TV station. And really, that one kind of took a back seat in the news with everything else that was going on. So we'll catch you up on that crazy story. In the 4 o'clock, as we do on Mondays, we'll talk to Ryan Krull with St. Louis Magazine. A couple of stories catching our attention. Some are about state government, some are about city, and then some are national. So that's coming up. We'll also check in with ABC News medical reporter. And you probably have heard that President Trump is making a historic autism announcement today. So we'll find out what is behind that and what do the doctors and scientists say about this. We'll also catch you up on the weekend of sports with KTRS Sports Director Brendan Weezy. And we will talk birds with a WashU professor and author of a new book, The Social Lives of Birds, Flocks, Communes, and Families. She's going to be at the Clark Family Branch on Wednesday, but we get to chat with her first. And there's so many questions I have.
Okay, guys, real quick.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite bird? Go.
Bald eagle.
Oh, that's very patriot. Now, if I don't say bald eagle, I sound like a terrible American.
No, you're on the FBI watch list.
I love hummingbirds.
I do too. They're great.
Yeah, I just think
Good
they're
pick.
fascinating. Yeah.
I like a blue jay.
A blue jay.
They are surprisingly big.
Mm-hmm.
They are, yes.
And they let you know they're there when they fly overhead.
I will also say the loon, because we have friends that have a house in Minnesota, and they're beautiful, but just the way that they meet back at the same lake year after year, and every night they kind of come together. We call it cocktail hour, which is
that's
fun.
great.
Yeah.
So I've got to go with, as always, my trilogy. I got to go bald eagle, cardinal. Whenever I see a cardinal behind our house, I just feel better.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Mm-hmm.
And then hummingbirds. I think I agree with you, Heidi. 3.
Do you think other people that don't have a baseball team, or I guess people out in Arizona, I don't know if you see Cardinals in Arizona.
Do Baltimore people get thrilled seeing
Get a
Orioles?
thrill? Yes. Do people get a thrill out of seeing Cardinals, or is it just us because of the baseball team?
No, I think Cardinals. I think the red is just beautiful, and it resonates with
Very
more people.
eye-catching.
Yeah.
And that's one of those birds where the male is beautiful, and the female is a ruddy brown color.
It's
kind of like people
all the time, right?
Hopefully Jen's not listening.
If you look at ducks, that's the case with so many different birds.
And
infuriating.
Well, I think it's fitting because we have to, as males, look good just to get a date. You know? Got to stand out in the crowd.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess.
The female doesn't even have to, they can wear sweatpants. And
well, that's actually a very good point.
They don't even have to wear makeup. I tell my wife all the time, you don't need that.
Yeah.
I still want to come home to you every night.
For sure. People are weighing in already on the KTRS text line, 84126. Great blue heron and pelicans.
Oh, we got blue herons out in Newtown. We've got green herons, too. I think it's because
we used to have blue ones by our house because we've got a spring-fed stream.
I was going to say, is there water near?
Yeah, Romaine Creek. And but I haven't seen them in quite a while. They used to be pretty regular.
Is a loon? I looked up the loon. It looks like a duck with a pointy bill.
A little bit.
Is it small like a duck?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, but they're, we don't get an opportunity to see them here. So when you go somewhere like that and you see something that you're not used to, it really strikes a chord, at least for us.
I think their soccer team up there in Minnesota, the MLS team, are the Loons.
There's a lot of every sweatshirt,
loon,
every
loon
T-shirt,
loon
every coffee mug. It's a lot of loons.
What's the Canadian coin that has a loon on it? Because Canadians will say,
loonies.
got any loons or tunes?
Yeah, okay. Huh.
Good call on that one.
But I don't know which coin it is.
Yeah. I also saw this, and it's shocking to me that this is the first day of fall. Don't forget. Even though this weekend felt anything but fall-like. I didn't think it was supposed to be that hot. But people online are claiming that it's been fall for weeks. So do we have the seasons all wrong? Because I still feel like it's summer right now. And I know the days are getting shorter and the leaves are starting to fall. But do you feel like it's fall?
Well, if you're going to do that, then everybody around the country would have different seasons.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of go by the weathermen, and I just go September, October, November. And to me, it's always kind of fit the school and holiday schedules. And to me, that's how I go.
I mean, astrologically, right? Astronomically, astrological is like
gastronomically.
No, it's all about the position of the sun, right? You know, the longest day.
This is
that's when summer starts.
Fall equinox.
Yeah.
Yes.
But June, July, August, boom, summer. That's summer.
Well, this guy is proposing we kind of redate all 4 seasons. So this is the way he breaks it down. Spring should start as soon as daylight savings kicks in. So next year that would be like March 8th.
Okay,
Extra sunlight means you're started spring regardless if it's still cold or not.
My thought is, why would you start a season right in the middle of a month? It should start,
We already do that.
I know. So if we're going to redo it, June, July, August, summer, September, October, November, fall, December, January, February, the worst months.
That's how I do it.
Winter.
Just follow my lead, John.
I'm with
Bob.
Fine. I'm with Bob on this one.
Okay, he says summer starts around June 1st and stops August 31st, mostly because, it's just summer, and it should be, should we shorten it at all? I don't think so.
Go ahead.
Once September hits, it's fall, even if it's still 95 degrees. The leaves are falling, NFL is on, kids are back in school. The whole waiting till September 22nd, he's saying, is wrong.
Yeah, I think that's bonkers.
And then winter begins on Black Friday. It's already kind of bleak outside. As this puts it, Bing Crosby is playing on the radio.
Yeah.
And you're setting up for your Christmas tree. So I kind of agree with that one. But anyway, I want your thoughts on that. I don't know.
The weathermen had that first, but I agree with, at least in American society, how we kind of fit into those categories, like with Black Friday, like school beginning and Labor Day and those sorts of things.
So I need to speak to somebody who lives in Australia or possibly Argentina and ask them, in the winter, do they call August winter or do they call August summer? Because it's flip-flop down there.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is flip-flopped.
Like summer to me is beach. Is summer to them, parkas? You know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying. Because their climate is flipped, do they flip
their designations as well?
I'm sure we have somebody, I was going to say, that we can reach out to, or someone on the text line who has lived there, has family there, because our text line is so very, very smart.
I've always wanted to know this, Bob. December 25th, Christmas Day, is in the summertime down there. Does Santa get depicted wearing a Hawaiian shirt?
I think he should, yeah.
And flip-flops.
Well, I will say...
And sunscreen.
We have been in Mexico leading up to Christmas in years past, kind of like the week before. And Santa did have maybe shorts on.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, not the full-on suit that we see.
I have some little Santa Claus Christmas ornaments, and I have 2 of them. One where he's on a surfboard, and one where he's holding a surfboard. Hawaiian type shirt, board shorts. It's awesome.
But is that Argentina? I think there's a lot of Catholics that live down there. How do they celebrate Christmas? Is it?
Well, it doesn't have to be necessarily.
Well, I know, but we think, bundle up and.
But you think that because we live here. If you were even in L.A., you're not wearing a heavy coat.
True.
You don't have to be in Argentina.
Yeah, I've been in Hawaii for holidays, and it's just you're wearing a T-shirt and shorts.
Somebody said in Hawaii, Santa will have on a Hawaiian shirt and short. It's what you're used to.
Melikaliki Lakai.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mele Kaliki Maka.
Okay. Whatever.
Someone else said, of course they flipped them, you dumbbells.
Dumbbells.
Thank you for calling us out. Here's something else that resonates with me, because I don't know about you guys, but especially having the RV, and more things rattle in an RV when you're going down the road. I mean, you just have, it is a house on
you got
wheels. You've got
silverware
all of it.
yeah.
And so really when you find a good road, you really enjoy it. And then you really judge a state on their poor roads.
Oh, yeah.
If it's bad, you really, it sticks with you. So according to the Bureau of Transportation Statistics, they just put together the list, and I will say I agree. The state with the best roads.
Have you driven in every state, Heidi?
Not every.
I'm going to go with
Best roads.
I'm trying to think this through real quick. I'm going to go with Texas.
I will say Ohio.
It's Indiana. And I have been going back and forth, as you know, last week. I think depending on where the Fever stand this weekend, we might be going back for another game. But I will agree. You can really tell, like, they've been kept up. There's not too many potholes. I will tell you, Illinois seems like one of the worst.
Rough.
It is,
Missouri's
especially
not great.
No, especially when you're crossing over into East St. Louis. The potholes are awful. But they say Kansas is second, followed by South Dakota, Wyoming, Vermont, Tennessee. Those seem like roads less traveled to me.
I almost guessed Kansas. I thought about Wyoming, but I thought with the extreme temperature changes that maybe that challenged their road systems.
Indiana,
and that's why I went Texas.
Indiana gets really cold.
That's why that's impressive.
It is that they can stay on top of it. And then when it comes to worst roads, Rhode Island, Hawaii is second, followed by New Mexico, Connecticut, Mississippi, and then it goes on from there.
Speaking of roads, this is Inside Baseball. We have been trying to get somebody from MoDOT on, not to challenge them or rip on them like so many people do. They have declined. But I'm just trying to figure out the strategy.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we doing this? For instance, most of St. Louis drives 270.
Yes.
And the stretch between 64 and Olive has been a mess, I think, forever. I'm pretty sure forever.
This is very recently, Bob.
And then they pick, and then you say, okay, they've made a little progress, then nothing. So today I'm saying, I keep thinking, boy, they're really going to get this done now. They're going to really get after it. I ride the whole length of it every day, for those of you who do weigh in. And I looked closely, probably too closely. I should have been focused on the road more. From 64 all the way through Olive, both sides of the road in the middle, there was one guy.
Oh.
One, and it wasn't lunchtime. It was in the morning. I had to take my daughter to the airport. One guy. And we were laughing. Yeah, Charlie, you've got to fix the Interstate 270 today. Because he got one trowel and he's just doing a little bit of concrete. What is happening? And again, I'm sure there is a good reason. Does it involve funding? Does it involve, hey, we got to get these guys on this dangerous section somewhere else? You only have so much money. You only have so many people. I get it. I'd just like to know.
I think it's very interesting, and you really tell this when we're in the winter months and it comes to snow and how the roads are treated county by county.
Oh, yeah.
And city by, where you can see who really did the, pre-work on it, the pre-treatment, and then where the, all the trucks are out kind of plowing the snow.
But, Bob, not to speak for you, but you've said in the office behind the scenes, you probably have said it on the air, he's wondering why they don't just put every man possible on that project, get it done,
and move to the next.
One rather than spread thin or have a job site lay dormant.
And again, it could be roads A, B, and C are just falling in such disrepair. If we wait till we get Section D done, it'll be. I mean, it could be a dangerous thing. I don't know the answer. That's why I'm curious.
Yeah.
Not to rip them, because I'm sure there's a reason and there's strategy
for all of it.
And full disclosure, MoDOT has not declined. They just haven't gotten back to me.
Folks, you know what that means.
Declined by, omission.
You've been ghosted.
I've been ghosted.
Somebody said every time I was in my RV, crossed into Arkansas, it was a washboard. You do know. Yeah, that's
It's
so
true.
Somebody else saying Highway 70 through Indy is horrible. I have not experienced that. It felt pretty good in the RV.
I've driven it. I don't recall it being especially good or bad.
And then somebody said, my sister has been living in Australia for about 45 years. June, July, and August are definitely winter. Everything is reversed. They celebrate Christmas at the beach.
Oh, cool.
But do they call it winter and summer? That's what we're saying. Do they flip the terminology?
This says,
I think they do.
somebody else says winter is June, August, spring, September through November.
Okay.
But they do have 4 seasons. Summer's December through February.
Got it.
Yeah.
So winter means
you.
the same thing. It's just
Flipped.
different times of year.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's as far as that goes.
All right.
Well, we're going to talk to Steve Shankman. He's going to tell us all about Evolution Festival coming up. But I'll tell you, there is another great place where fantastic music is played over and over. And now we can say it is the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra. And in this new era with the reopening of Powell Hall, it is better than ever. Opening weekend concerts are next weekend. And I mean, we're talking world premieres of the composer in residence, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. And there's constantly being new offerings added to the already pretty robust lineup for this year and next year's concerts. So it truly is the best music, and now one of the best opera houses in the world. I mean, it really is the new Jack C. Taylor Music Center, and it offers so much more. They have more educational opportunities. New offerings this season are also going to include piano recital series featuring all kinds of acclaimed artists. It's if you've never seen it, it is truly something to see. I always say going to the symphony as much for your ears as your eyes, because it's so visual when you see all of those master musicians moving at once. It's almost like a beautiful dance as far as that goes. So you can learn more. You can see the entire list of concerts, SLCO. Am I doing that right? I just lost
St.
my...
Louis Symphony Orchestra.
Yes.
SLSO.
S-O. Thank you. I was... It's Monday.
Trust me,
.org.
It's tough.
SLSO.org. You can see the entire list and start making plans. Grab your tickets, because this is going to be the ticket of the year.
Hi, it's Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. Summer temps sure put our air conditioners to the test. A few years ago, before I knew about Premier Heating and Cooling, our air conditioner was on its last legs. We decided to push the envelope and try to limp through another St. Louis summer before replacing it. We went away on vacation and came back to discover our air conditioning unit had gone on the fritz while we were gone, and we ended up with all kinds of trouble, including warped wood floors. That delay in replacing our worn-out unit was an expensive mistake. If you're limping through and you know it's time for a replacement unit, our friends at Premier Heating and Cooling can take care of you and even work with you on financing. Or if you haven't taken the time to really get your air conditioner checked out and make sure it's operating at peak efficiency, which will really help on your bills and help with the life of your air conditioning unit, Premier Heating and Cooling is the place to go. Excellent rating with the Better Business Bureau. So many of their new customers are referred by happy customers like me. PremierHeatingCooling.net. 636-916-1122.
Kids don't always like to get school report cards, but they are important and helpful. They document subjects where they're strong and others where they need to show some improvement. Ever wonder why you don't get a report on how your child's school compares to others? At the Show Me Institute, we think you should, and that's why we've started the Missouri School Rankings Project. Click on the website moschoolrankings.org, and it's all there. Rankings and letter grades for all the schools in Missouri. The rankings are based on several categories, such as student performance in English, language arts, and math, ACT scores, and graduation rates. Then we take the rankings and come up with a grade point average, just like your child has. Each school and district will have a grade, and the website is easy to use. Don't you want to know how your child's school stacks up? Now you can. Learn more at showmeinstitute.org. The Show Me Minute has been brought to you by Show Me Institute and Show Me Opportunity.
Hi, this is Stuart Rosenblum, president of Stewart's American Mortgage. Stewie! Mortgages are the biggest investment that a person's going to make in their life, yet most people don't know anything about it. Tune in for Mortgages and More with Stewie. That's me, where we can go over all the different types of mortgage programs in simple terms. You, me, Stewie! You'll become an expert after the first show.
Listen to Mortgages and More with Stewie, Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. on KTRS.
Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Alliance is rebranding to Reese Nichols, a Missouri-born real estate company established 125 years ago. The same trusted agents who've served St. Louis for 45 years now have the backing of Missouri's most trusted brokerage. With offices across the metro and in-house mortgage, title, and insurance, Reese Nichols makes your move seamless. They proudly support the Ronald McDonald House, raising over $1.5 million for Missouri families. Visit ReeseNichols.com to learn more.
I'm Mark Miller, owner of Miller Furniture and Mattress, your home for quality American-made furniture since 1927. We offer the largest selection of Amish-made furniture in the St. Louis area, plus quality living room furniture from Flex Steel and Smith Brothers. We carry top-quality mattresses from world-famous brands like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Chatham & Wells. Shop our Belleville, Fairview Heights, Lake St. Louis, and Ellisville showrooms. At Miller Furniture, we put the family in furniture.
When it comes to mortgage lenders, I know you have no shortage of options. But are you working with someone local who can truly simplify the process? I'm David Goldberg with the Goldberg Group, and as a St. Louis home purchase expert, I know this market inside and out. I specialize in tough-to-complete situations for borrowers who are self-employed, looking to buy and sell at the same time, and may have been turned down somewhere else. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or seasoned homeowner, you can trust me with all of your home financing needs. Call or text me at 314-471-4030. 314-471-4030.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
3:33 on this Monday afternoon. Captain Paul, how's traffic moving along? It is the weekend we've been looking forward to for months. Evolution Festival returns to Forest Park this weekend, and one of the co-founders, Steve Shankman, is back to tell us all about it. I know you're super busy, so thanks for making time for us.
Anytime, Heidi. So nice to hear your voice.
So are the stages already going up? What's happening in Forest Park as we speak?
Well, knowing that we're going to have some rain this weekend, I really feel bad for the balloon race. I know they had to cancel that. Although the Glow was unreal. I did go to the Glow, and John Nickel and Ricky Nix, they put this festival on every year, and I think it was great. No, the stage is Wednesday. The big stage, the small stage is going tomorrow. But we're already here. We have 31 nice Biley trailers and RVs for the artists and the staff. Our cabanas are up as far as the structure. Most of the tents are up. Our road is in, and I mean, we got about 200 people working right now.
Wow!
So we're way ahead of schedule because there's going to be a little rain during the week, but it's kind of spotty. But the forecast, Dave Murray tells me for the weekend, he is my weatherman, always will be. Just like Riverport will always be Riverport.
Absolutely.
But Dave tells us it's going to be the most beautiful weekend we've had in St. Louis in a long time. We don't have the heat, we don't have the rain. It'll even be a little chillier at night than we've had because we're getting into fall today.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, Steve, there are so many fantastic bands scheduled. Give us a quick rundown.
Well, my favorite two are the headliners this year. Actually, on Saturday night will be Sublime. They were just on. I think it was Good Morning America, and the singer now is the son of the deceased lead singer, and he's great. The band is great. They're going to be in St. Louis the first time that they've played here since many years ago. And then Sunday night, my favorite guy, I just love Lenny Kravitz.
So cool.
And every show review I've been reading has been unbelievable, the show he's going to put on. But you got people like Sam Fender that a lot of people in the States don't know him. He's from the UK. But only about a month ago, he sold 70,000 seats as the headliner at Wembley Stadium. So this is one of the finest guitar players. I mean, they compare him to Bruce Springsteen. But Sam Fender, I'm looking forward to my TLC to get a little bit of them. And Public Enemy. Public Enemy will be on the Lindenwood stage. The major acts will be on the Worldwide Technology stage, which will come in on Wednesday, as I said. All the vendors will be here on Friday. But, yeah, things are just clicking along. A lot of golf carts, walkie-talkies, a lot of trucks, tractors, and forklifts and handlers, and a great crew this year led by Brad Brown, who's my executive director of the festival. So we're really looking to it. It's a lot of fun now. The Evolution Club is going to sell out, so if you want to buy a ticket to the club for $500, big tent plus a platform 4 feet up in the air, look right at the stage, elevated, free buffet. So those are selling quick. The pit's selling quick. It's also the same price. But we really need the fans to show up this year. General admission tickets are like $150 for 30 acts over 2 days. VIP a little bit more expensive, but you get your own bathrooms and your own concessions. We've got a big marketplace this year. Wally's is going to be back. But the corporate community has been great. Stiefel Presents, as you know. But our big sponsors have been great, and so have all the other people that have joined us, because we're now a not-for-profit. So anybody wants to make a donation, let's go on evolutionfestival.com and go to the donation page. And we've got hundreds of thousands of dollars in donations. Just been beautiful. But we really want the public. This is a concert town.
Mm-hmm.
I got a letter going out today to some of our insiders. It's all about buying a ticket now and to support the festival, so we can continue to do it every year. This is our third year, and we're expecting a nice-sized crowd. But even when we get a big audience, plenty of room to move around, plenty of bathrooms, more female bathrooms than any festival.
Smart.
Yes.
So smart.
VIP is now on the main campus, so we're not using the boathouse area. 2 entrances, one from the east, one from the north. Tickets will be available here, but save a lot of time buying them online, and it's easy to buy. We're giving away money to United Way this year. We've already raised $100,000. We want to raise more. We'll present a check before Lenny Kravitz on Sunday night to Michelle Tucker, who is the CEO of United Way for storm relief. And when you look around, I could see missing trees, but we're still tree lined. All our trees are still here. Lost a couple of the big ones, like on Lindell and over here at the park.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, lots of concessions, lots of good food. Sugar Fire's back again this year, but a lot of different kinds of foods from all over the country. A lot of merchandise to sell, which also anything that we raise, profit-wise, net profits will all go to United Way. I can't wait to see.
That's
the public show
fantastic.
up.
Hey, I saw that you're doing shuttles from Ballpark Village. That's a great idea.
Yeah, we got shuttles. We got the Uber lift station. But the easiest way is the Metrolink. And a Metrolink runs 5 minutes away. You get off on the Bolivar and Lindell. You walk by the History Museum, and my front door is right there. So we really encourage that, because Saturday, Sundays are always busy in the park. As you know, I was the chairman of the Zoo Commission for 7 years, so we do 30,000 people over the weekend there. But plenty of park. The Upper Muni Lodge, you can buy a space there.
Okay.
You should buy it in advance. That way you pull straight in, no waiting. And it's just going to be a chill-out affair with some high-energy music. Just even Maggie Rose, I'm looking forward to.
Yes, and the Marcus King Band.
Oh, yes, Marcus King. How about and Father John Misty?
Yes.
I mean, everybody wants to pick the acts like the Rolling Stones and U2, and I want those acts, but the price of those acts just are way beyond what we could afford. You have to go to some of the much bigger festivals that do like 40,000 people a day. We don't do anything near that. So it's just a relaxing festival. We've never had any issues. Don't plan anything this year. Obviously, we have mega towns, that come in, so people do get checked. Bring your own chair. There's a little bit of money you have to pay, but that goes to the Urban League. So everybody in charity world is getting money this year. So think about making a donation if you can't come. Evolution Festival, any amount of money. But really, I want the people here, because we want a big crowd. We want to get that big drone shot of a big, giant crowd. And the artists are all shouting out now. You can go online and Lenny Kravitz and Misty. They're all talking about the festival because this is the next big festival in the country.
Yeah, it is going to be so much fun. Evolution Festival this Saturday and Sunday in Forest Park from 11 to midnight. You can see the lineup. Get those tickets at evolutionfestival.com. Steve Shankman, thank you so much for bringing back live music to Forest Park. We're looking forward to it.
And I'm looking forward to seeing you and Josh and Bob. Hopefully you'll be down in one of those 2 days or both.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you all for all your help. We love the Big 550. You guys are always kind to us. And we appreciate the Darcys and the people that make this happen, which is really the guys in the studio. So talk it up. Get people here. General admission tickets. It's fine. We got plenty of space. And we really need the fans to show up like they've done. I've been doing this 50 years plus, and 21,000 at Riverport and 4,000 at the factory and 2,000 at the pageant, 18,000 Enterprise. We need that kind of an audience here. We need people to really show up, buy a ticket. If you can't come, make a donation, and we'll see you here.
All right.
Hey, Steve, while we have you, can you share a Rolling Stone story for us, or maybe a Billy Joel? Or
Which one? How about Ozzy? Let's talk about Ozzy.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Ozzy Osbourne was one of my favorites of all time. Sharon, his wife. The kids used to come to Riverport when they were like 5 to 8 years old.
Crazy.
And, they always talk about Ozzy and the bat. Well, the story on the bat is this simple. I think it was 1982. It was at the Veteran Memorial in Des Moines, Iowa. I personally wasn't there, but we produced the show. And what happened, he had so many dBs of sound. I think a live bat, they're mammals. So their ears are like ours. And I think this one got deaf and fell out of the rafters. He thought somebody threw a plastic one up on stage.
Oh, no.
But he did take a bite out of the neck. And we sent him to the hospital for 5 shots for rabies protection.
Oh, my gosh.
And then another quick one, when you saw that picture online when he got arrested, I think it was in...
oh, yeah.
Wearing the Blues jersey.
Yes. Well, who do you think gave him that jersey when he played the Enterprise Center a couple months prior to that?
No.
Is that right?
Yeah, but Chris Zimmerman and the Blues, they made fun of it and had fun with it. So, again, the Blues, the Cardinals, all the organizations, Florida St. Louis, and especially Greater St. Louis, they've all supported us in many ways. St. Louis is a music city. Think about the people who've come from here. You got people like Tina Turner, Ike Turner. You got people like Chuck Berry. We're doing a big show celebrating his life at the Symphony, 18th and 19th, I think, of October, with a band made up of the Rolling Stones musicians, singers, other bands, and Pretenders. It's going to be one heck of a weekend celebrating Chuck Berry's life.
Well,
so, again, we got a great symphony. We just attended the opening last weekend.
I can't wait to see that place. It's going to be fantastic.
I know how much you love fashion, so you have to be very fashionable to go there now.
Okay, I will do my best. Steve Shankman, we adore you. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob. Adore you too. Thank you. Bye now.
I mean, I could listen to his stories all day long.
That's tremendous.
Weather from the John Beal Roofing Weather Desk.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. We have some rain coming our way Tuesday into Wednesday. We'll start off dry, though, Tuesday morning, but let's watch for some morning fog. A low of 67 degrees, then a high of 81, and it's the afternoon to evening. We'll see scattered rain and some thunderstorms overspread the area. Some of the rain Tuesday night into Wednesday morning could be heavy as well, over an inch of rainfall, but needed. We'll take it. Scattered showers redevelop later in the afternoon Wednesday with a cooler high of 76 degrees. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
John Beal Roofing is the home of the lowest price roofing guarantee. Get a free estimate today at johnbealroofing.com.
Let's talk about high school for just a moment, because that young man you brought home from the hospital yesterday, you're going to blink your eyes, and all of a sudden now you start talking about high schools. Well, that's where St. Mary's Southside Catholic High School comes in, because it's an all-boys, independent Catholic high school. And what St. Mary's will do is they will prepare your son to be the future. Whether it's college, trade work, or a career of their choice, St. Mary's, over the years, has produced a whole lot of millionaires and a couple of billionaires along the way. And when you graduate from St. Mary's, you have that alumni as a resource. Schedule your visit today and find out more about St. Mary's. stmaryshs.com. That's stmaryshs.com. They will teach the skills that are needed to thrive and survive in the 21st century, as well as teaching old school values. To find out more, stmaryshs.com. That's stmaryshs.com.
Missouri Show Me 5 hospitals are leading the way in becoming baby-friendly. Hospital practices play a huge role in supporting families with infant feeding choices and breastfeeding success. Show Me 5 hospitals are committed to creating a welcoming, supportive environment for moms and babies. Want to find a Show Me 5 certified hospital near you? Learn more about what makes a hospital baby-friendly and see a list of participating hospitals at health.mo.gov/Show Me 5.
You know, over the years, Lordo's has become part of the family for many, many St. Louis families. For 80 years, they've been helping St. Louis families with all of the jewelry needs, whether it's the diamond ring, a diamond ring, maybe something for St. Patrick's Day, something for an anniversary, Valentine's Day. Throughout the years and throughout the calendar, it's Lordo's as your go-to. Whether it's men or women, you want to repurpose something or buy something new, Lordo's Diamonds in the heart of Ladue on Clayton Road. You see, it's a family business. The family's been running it for years, and they learned it from their father, who learned it from their father. And so that family jeweler, it's where generations of St. Louisans go. Grandparents have gone there. Your grandkids will go there. Right there in Ladue on Clayton Road, across the street from a Norman Rockwell-esque firehouse, is Lordo's Diamonds. Go in, make a friend, and make them your family jeweler, because you can thank me later. 314-432-8008 or online, lordosdiamonds.com.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you are facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
Some of my fondest memories as a kid is heading down to the hardware store. You had to pick up a couple of nails, a couple of screws, maybe a gallon of paint, whatever it may be, right? It was your friendly neighborhood hardware store. Well, those don't exist anymore in St. Louis, except for Schnarr's Hardware. They have 2 locations in Webster Groves and in Clayton Road in Ladue. Schnarr's Hardware is that place where you go in and you can get that bucket of paint, you can get a couple of screws. The advice is always free. And the one thing about Schnarr's Hardware that every single family hardware store used to have, and that is the smell. It smells like a hardware store. It's got the selection. I don't know how they do it. It's a small store, but they got everything you ever need. They got the paint. They got paint matching. They've got big green eggs. They've got screws and nails and everything a hardware store should have. Schnarr's Hardware, 2 locations, 1 great hardware store. Schnarr's Hardware, we'll see you there.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
So Lenny Kravitz is playing Evolution Fest
Sunday night.
On Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
His drummer, I don't know if she still plays with him, but he had a female drummer for all those years. She was great.
Mm-hmm.
And, and in the music video for Are You Gonna Go My Way, she's front and center, just killing it. And everyone was like, wow. Because there's not a lot of female drummers out there.
Well, not in the bands you listen to.
Maybe not in the bands I listen to. Did you know that her name is Cindy Blackman, is now Cindy Blackman Santana? She is married to Carlos Santana.
Huh.
And I think now she is currently his full-time drummer.
Makes sense.
Can't hire him, marry him.
Yeah, right? This article says that he proposed to her on stage in Hawaii after she did a drum solo.
That's a gutsy move.
What if she would have said no?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
You don't
Let's
pay
wait a
well
while.
enough.
Oh.
Maybe at the next stop.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I think drummers are just they're both hands, both feet. I don't know how you do it.
It's impossible.
It is. It's impressive.
My sister bought my niece, she's 6, a drum kit, and not one of these kids' drum kit. It's
a real drum kit.
They didn't have the hi-hat set up, but everything else was there. And I sat down at the skins, Bob. That's what we call them. And I think I could do it. I think I could do it.
We're gonna need to see video.
Don't do it. Don't bring him in here.
Yeah,
I've got rhythm.
Just send us video.
I think I could do it.
Okay, we'll Wait and see. It's 10 minutes before 4 o'clock. Captain Paul still having some trouble on the roads? Somebody on the text line said Lenny Kravitz had a female bass player as well.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love the female bass players. There's a lot of those.
A bass player I think is also just super cool
Very
vibe.
cool.
You know, you just kind of stand and got it. I'll tell you what will be music to your ears is when you work with Dalco Home Remodeling and you see what they are able to do and at the prices that they're able to do it. Dalco Home Remodeling's been around now for more than 50 years. And, you know, that says something. When you're in business for more than 50 years, you're doing several things right. Now, I will say the one thing that continues to impress me is that Dalco Home Remodeling hasn't forgotten about customer service. They truly work with every single customer to make sure they get it right. So Dalco Home Remodeling can help with windows. They can do doors. Both of those, by the way, custom made right here in the Show Me State. But then they can do roofs, they do siding, and they can do a complete remodel of your bathroom, whether it's a powder room or your master bath that you want to turn into kind of a sanctuary. Dalco Home Remodeling should be your first call. 314-648-8113 is the number. You can also go online, dalcohomeremodeling.com. So new details have come out now about this shooting at the ABC affiliate in Sacramento on Friday. Alex Stone, ABC News correspondent in L.A., joins us with that story. Hey, Alex.
Hey, Heidi. Yeah, so we're learning a lot more about how this whole thing went down. It was around 1:30 in the afternoon on Friday. Shooter wearing a dark satchel around his torso got out of his car, shot into the windows at ABC 10 KXTV in Sacramento, and then the bullets, three of them went through the lobby window into the lobby and luckily didn't hit anybody. There were people in the lobby but didn't hit anybody as they went through the window. And the shooter jumped back in a car and took off, and police said that they were categorizing it as a drive-by shooting, that they pulled up, fired, and then left. And immediately police came racing in and made sure nobody was hurt. Luckily, nobody was. They put out this radio broadcast on the police radios.
Divisional divisions and outside agencies broadcast for officer safety on an armed vehicle. Fired 3 times into a building at Broadway and 5th Street 25 ago.
And then on Friday night, they made an arrest. Pretty quickly, they were able to move in. Our sources were telling us early on that they had a good read on who they thought it was based on a license plate. And arrested was 63-year-old Anibal Hernandez Santana. And taken into custody on state charges on Friday night. They had put out this message to the shooter before the arrest was made.
This is unacceptable behavior. It's not going to be tolerated in Sacramento.
So he's got the state charges. Today he was federally charged with kind of creative in the way that what they found would work in this on the federal side, but interference of a licensed communication station for interrupting a radio or a TV station that is federally licensed. Essentially, they're saying because he fired into the building that he disrupted operations at a radio or a TV station. But they're also doing possession of a firearm and discharge of a firearm in a school zone. But today we learned from court documents that in his car, police found a handwritten letter that read, quote, "For hiding Epstein and ignoring red flags, do not support Patel, Bongino, and AG Pam Bondi. They're next," end quote. And they tracked him down based on surveillance video. We know from these court documents that his license plate came back to him. And they went into his home. They found a 9mm handgun inside of a satchel like the one the shooter had and an empty magazine. His hands, according to court documents, were positive for gunshot residue. And then he had a whiteboard planner, they say, on his kitchen fridge. There was a calendar that read, "Do the next scary thing," listed on last Friday's date. So all of that will come into play. We know they're looking at mental health as well, that's been part of this from the beginning, but at this point they believe they have the shooter.
Do we have any idea why this TV station?
No. I mean, obviously everybody's aware of everything that's been going on the last week or so. Nothing pointing toward, at this point, that being involved. The only writings that he allegedly had to do with Epstein and Patel and Bongino and Bondi. But no, police say they really don't know yet.
I thought the first stories that came out about this directly tied it to that. There is no connection to the Kimmel thing.
No, nothing.
There
was a protest like there were outside many ABC stations the day before this went down, but not on Friday. It was on Thursday, and so I mean there's the obvious links that we can look at and say, well, maybe it's connected. And early on, the thinking was, well, why wouldn't it be connected?
Right.
But as of now, there's nothing indicating that it was. It may end up being, but nothing that we know that he has said or anything that he had.
All right. Alex Stone, we appreciate you covering this.
You got it. Thanks, guys.
Are you tired of looking at those old, worn-out floors? Have you been dreaming of new hardwood floors? Well, then you should start dreaming about Boardwalk Hardwood. It's their annual warehouse sale going on right now through the end of September at all 4 locations. At Boardwalk Hardwood Floors, half off new floors. You can get half off inventory and factory specials and up to 25% off special order items. Their showrooms, 4 of them at Boardwalk Hardwood Floors, are filled with beautiful styles, great budgets, from timeless classics to modern designs and everything in between. Your home will look beautiful with gorgeous hardwood floors. Rich, stunning hardwood floors, courtesy of BoardwalkHardwood.com. For 25 years, Boardwalk has been your trusted, local, family-owned, quality flooring provider. And if you need hardwood floors, it's their annual warehouse sale now through the end of September at all 4 locations. Boardwalk Hardwood or BoardwalkHardwood.com.
Hi, it's Jill Farmer. This note came in on our text line recently on the Frank and Jill show. You need to know that Ryan Raphael helped me with my senior insurance plan. He was such a gentleman, so helpful, knowledgeable, and kind. I can't thank him enough, and I heard about him on KTRS. I love that text because Ryan Raphael is the Medicare man. He's absolutely the best person to call to help you through the often confusing process of finding the right Medicare plan for you. He loves helping people, walking them through the overwhelm of, I don't know how to choose the best plan for me, or I did choose a plan based on the recommendation of a well-meaning friend or family member, and now I don't think it's actually the right one for me. Ryan Raphael is the best at matching you with a plan that lets you keep your own physicians and keep your prescriptions. It's like having the highest quality consultant on your team. The best news, it's free to you. Under the law, his fees are paid by the insurance companies. Go to MedicareManSTL.com or call 314-368-6808. That's Ryan Raphael's cell phone number just for you.
A big KTRS shout out to Lacey Lumber, family owned and family operated since 1872. Lacey Lumber has built the St. Louis metropolitan area. They've worked with builders and contractors and homeowners. They provide building materials from soup to nuts. 2 hardware stores in Belleville ready to serve you. Millwork, insulating material, wallboard, roofing materials, you name it, Lacey Lumber can help because Lacey Lumber is just that much better. LaceyLumber.com.
Health insurance can feel complicated, but Medica health plans are different. See, we're nonprofit, which means people first, not shareholders. And we're right here in St. Louis with affordable plans for local care you trust. Your doctors, your hospitals, to help you feel your best. With Medica, your health coverage can feel a bit simpler. And now, we're here for you. Medica Health Plans. You're not just covered, you're cared for.
Tired of ads interrupting your favorite news podcast? Good news. Ad-free listening on Amazon Music is included with your Prime membership. Yeah, stay up to date on everything newsworthy with podcasts like The Daily, Up First, and 5 Things, uninterrupted at Amazon.com/ad-free. Just head to Amazon.com/ad-free to catch up on the latest episodes without the ads.
Wake up, it's a brand new day.
Getting your weekday started the St. Louis way. It's the McGraw Show.
Hey, it's Carl the Intern. Tuesday on the McGraw Show, he lives to offend. Everyone needs to be offended. You can be offended nationally. You can be offended locally. We'll talk to Antonio French, find out what's offensive locally, and we'll talk to our friends from ABC to find out what's offensive nationally.
McGraw Millhaven, Rose Dalton, and Carl the Intern. Weekday morning, 6 to 10.
Right here on your hometown station, the Big 550. KTRS.
The Big 550.
KTRS. St. Louis.
From ABC News, I'm Lindsay Davis, anchor of crime, streaming weeknights on ABC News Live. The Supreme Court is allowing the president's firing of a Federal Trade Commission member to move forward until it reviews the case.
The High Court says it will hear arguments in December on whether to overturn a 90-year-old precedent that restricts a president's ability to fire members of the Federal Trade Commission. The White House argues that precedent should be overturned because the Constitution authorizes the president to fire any appointee of an agency that exercises executive power. For now, the justices are setting aside a district court order that blocks President Trump from firing Rebecca Slaughter, a Democrat on the Trade Commission.
ABC's Stephen Portnoy. After Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. vowed to study the root cause to autism, the White House is releasing its findings today, suggesting a possible link between autism and the use of acetaminophen like Tylenol during pregnancy. The administration is now recommending limiting the use of the painkiller. Medical experts are disputing the link that relies on limited evidence. The Walt Disney Company announced Jimmy Kimmel Live will return tomorrow night. The decision comes after preempting the show last week after the FCC chair criticized Kimmel for comments he made following the death of conservative influencer Charlie Kirk. ABC's Melissa Dunn has more.
They had made that decision to suspend production on the show. This, they said, in order to avoid further inflaming a tense situation at an emotional moment for our country. The statement also reading, it is a decision, quote, we made because we felt some of the comments were ill-timed and thus insensitive. They have said that they've spent the last days having thoughtful conversations with Jimmy, and after those conversations, that is where the Walt Disney Company says they reached the decision to return the show on Tuesday.
The Walt Disney Company is the parent company of ABC News. At the UN, French President Emmanuel Macron announced France would recognize a Palestinian state. More than 140 countries now support the two-state solution. President Trump will address the world leaders tomorrow. You're listening to ABC News.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/music. That's ethos.com/music.
When your reputation's on the line, you don't leave anything to chance, especially your primer. Painters trust Kills primers for a smooth start, strong adhesion, and serious stain-blocking power. And now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery, or order online and pick up in-store. Kills primers. Pro results, faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
This is KTRS News. I'm Sobe Bay. The White House says it has intervened under the terms of a 3-month-old national security agreement with Japan-based Nippon Steel to block a decision that would have closed U.S. Steel's Granite City Works plant. Meantime, Illinois State Representative Amy Ellick and State Senator Erica Harris are reacting to U.S. Steel's decision to keep Granite City Works open. Ellick and Harris released a joint statement, which reads in part, "This is a win. Thank you to the Trump administration and Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick for hearing our voices. And our outreach and advocacy will continue. We will not give up on the long-term solution to keep these jobs in Granite City. The fight continues." The Illinois Freedom Caucus is calling for the impeachment of Governor J.B. Pritzker. The group, comprised of conservative state lawmakers, have filed a resolution accusing Pritzker of inciting violence. The Illinois Freedom Caucus released a statement which reads in part, "Governor Pritzker has repeatedly compared his political opponents to Nazis and gone so far as to call for violence against them." Last week, moments after Christian conservative Charlie Kirk was assassinated, Pritzker went so far as to blame President Trump and January 6th for his murder. The ballot summary and fair ballot language for a constitutional amendment to ban most abortions in Missouri has been ruled to be insufficient and unfair. Cole County Circuit Judge Daniel Green issued the ruling and also ordered the Missouri Secretary of State to draft a new summary and fair ballot language for House Joint Resolution 73. The resolution will put a near total ban on abortion on the ballot in November 2026 at the general election. The Stadium Metrolink station in downtown St. Louis is temporarily closed for security upgrades. Transit riders traveling to and from destinations near Stadium Station should instead use the 8th and Pine Metrolink station. The closure is expected to last several weeks. The weather has been dry, and Missourians are being asked to report drought conditions. KTRS's Jill Enders has the story.
As drought conditions continue across the state, the Missouri Department of Natural Resources is encouraging people to report local drought conditions in their area, this to help local, state, and national decision makers better understand and assess drought conditions and impacts in Missouri. The Missouri Department of Natural Resources Climate and Weather Committee, in consultation with the state climatologists and partners from the National Weather Service, is actively monitoring drought conditions and any impacts occurring in Missouri's communities. Now you can report drought conditions online at droughtimpacts.unl.edu. Jill Enders, KTRS News.
A St. Louis Trade Career Fair is in this KTRS Business Minutes, brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. September is designated as National Workforce Development Month and National Apprenticeship Month. This has the Slate, Missouri Job Center taking part by hosting an apprenticeship and trades career fair this week. The event will bring together more than 30 apprenticeships and training providers, and it's happening Wednesday from 9 a.m. to noon at the Slate office at 1520 Market Street in downtown St. Louis. And now let's take a look at the markets, brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement, Saturday mornings from 9 to 11 a.m. Up day on Wall Street at the close, everything positive. Dow Jones closed up 66 points to finish at 46,381. S&P 500 finished up 29 points to 6,693. The NASDAQ is up 157 points to 22,788. Time now to get a check of sports and traffic with Captain Paul Kopsky.
Meep, meep.
Thank you, Captain Paul. Weather, KTRS weather. Tonight, cloudy with an overnight low of 65. Tomorrow, late afternoon rain with an expected high of 77. Right now, we have 76 degrees. The time is 4:09. I'm Sobe Bay, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Congratulations to John Beal Roofing. Want to give them a shout out. They've been a sponsor of the show through thick and through thin for coming up on 20 years, and their message has remained the same all these 20 years. make sure you call someone local. With all the storms that have been in the area over the last couple of months, it's been busy, and a lot of out-of-towners are coming in. They sure are nice, but you know what? They'll take half your money, and you never see them again. Somebody from the insurance industry told me, make sure you call local. I told him I was well schooled. John Beal Roofing will guarantee you the best price. They'll work with your insurance company and make sure you get the claim you deserve to fix it and fix it right. Roofing, siding, gutters, all storm damage, John Beal Roofing will take care of it. Keep it local and keep it John Beal. Keep it in the family for 20-plus years. John Beal Roofing, 1-800-NEW-ROOF. or johnbillroofing.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Our headlines for this Monday afternoon, September 22nd. Trick or Tree will recruit St. Louis kids to raise money for tornado relief. This is an interesting idea. This Halloween, don't be surprised if the kids knocking on your door ask you for money instead of, or maybe in addition to, telling a joke. They'll be part of the Trick or Tree Brigade that the Clark Fox Family Foundation plans to send out across St. Louis as fundraisers. The foundation CEO, co-founder Maxine Clark, you know her from Build-A-Bear, said that they have planned to distribute 200,000 boxes to kids around the metro area, along with encouragement to take them when they trick or treat and solicit cash donations as they do. The idea comes from the UNICEF boxes that were a popular trick or treat solicitation when she was younger. They gave us these boxes, and I thought it was such a cool idea. Now we're making the boxes. She hopes it will inspire a different generation to get involved with philanthropy. Boxes will be distributed through libraries, schools, and other community organizations. And then after Halloween, families can drop them off at any of the 26 Commerce Bank locations across the region. And from there, they'll go to homegrown nonprofit Forest Relief to replant trees in neighborhoods that lost them to the tornado. Every dollar collected through Trick or Tree plants new life in our community, says the Trick or Tree executive director. These trees will stand as symbols of hope, growth, and renewal for generations to come. Now, while Maxine Clark says the campaign hopes to get people prepared for the idea that they should have some cash on hand, she knows that the uptake may not be immediate, and she's hoping that this can be a fundraiser for years to come.
I love the idea. I'm skeptical of its early success. I think one of the keys will be to make it obvious to the person at the door that that's what this is for.
Yes.
And I think that step.
And that the money will really go towards the right thing.
That's true, because we're all a little bit jaded, aren't we? Yeah, I love the idea, though. I really do.
Well, and teaching kids to give back. I think that's an interesting angle as well.
All right. I can't figure out which story to do, but because it's getting closer to Halloween, I'm going to save the ghost ship story maybe for tomorrow.
Okay. Ghost ship.
And so maybe then I'll take out the mummy story as well.
Save that for Wednesday.
Save that till we get in. So
Mummies.
Today marks the final day to see Chicago Henge. Anyone?
Chicago Henge. Okay, so I know what Manhattan Henge is.
Same thing.
Same thing.
The arrival of fall coincides with an unusual twice-yearly milestone in Chicago called Chicago Henge, where the sunset and sunrise line up with the city's grid.
Oh.
The Adler Planetarium said Chicago Henge arrives twice a year. Yeah, we know that, spring and fall. So Friday through Monday through today, get that final glimpse of the sun coming right down the concrete canyons. So east-facing onlookers saw the sun framed by Chicago's buildings in the morning. Afternoon, it might be a little cloudy, might be a little bit tougher. 6:47 Central Time. So we'll see if they get a look at that as the sun sets in Chicagoland.
Wow.
It's always really cool to see, and it's weird that it's happening on, the second day. Yeah, the solstice. Maybe it was
designed
secretly by druids. Chicago.
Oh, boy.
Or the, in the Dan Brown novels.
Oh, yeah. What was,
The Secret Society.
Oh, why am I blanking on this?
Because I am.
Man.
Tom Hanks played it in the movie, right?
And he had that long hair. He looked so weird.
Somebody's already texted.
I know.
Sure.
Who was it?
The
Knights Templar.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Woo, we did it.
God, Josh, you're getting old.
I was going to die if I couldn't remember that.
I knew I wouldn't get it, but you.
I like the teamwork there.
Knights Templar.
Manhattan Hinge occurred on May 28th and May 29th and July 11th and July 12th of this past year.
Well, that's odd. Maybe I wonder different canyons.
Yeah, maybe.
Different angles.
Did you see this story about Six Flags over the weekend?
No.
So Six Flags merged with Cedar Fair, its longtime rival, to create a mega theme park company.
Cedar Fair, that the Ohio?
Cedar Point. And I'm guessing they own a bunch of other things. 42 amusement parks and water parks in 17 states. The problem is Six Flags brought in so much debt to the merger that they're having to close down some of the theme parks.
We missed the first round.
A theme park in Maryland closed, and Six Flags California's Great America also closed.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
They are under an enormous mountain of debt. So says Mr. Theme Park. His name is Dennis Spiegel. He follows theme parks. He said, I thought it was a good idea in the beginning, but Six Flags' internal issues pulled Cedar Fair under.
Well, pulled them under.
Unofficial tracking methods show attendance at the local Six Flags, however, although down from its peak in its heyday, has remained steady over the past few years, so experts say we probably won't get the axe.
Here's my concern about St. Louis is winter, because just because you're not open doesn't mean you're not losing money. Your debt service, whatever that is,
you still
keeps
pay.
coming. All your bills keep coming.
Haven't they opened up, though, in Christmas
They have. They started
recently?
adding like Christmas lights, and of course there have been Halloween. So I think they're trying to stretch it as far as possible.
Every day you're closed, you're losing money.
Yeah. But, I mean, Chicago has a Six Flags, and they're closed in the winter, probably longer than ours is.
And the company's in debt.
This is true. They're looking at future cash flow and profitability, and they say that the land that the Maryland park and the California park were on was worth so much money, it's probably worth more to them to sell it.
Yeah.
And, let them build houses on this land or whatever. So as of right now, no official word, yay or nay, but experts think that we might be able to survive this.
I'd buy a lot where Six Flags is, but I want to keep the Screaming Eagle.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
and just go ride it whenever you want
just
to.
whenever I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's going to operate it, though? You'll get one of the kids.
You'll come by.
Yeah.
Just hit
Josh,
the button.
Push that button.
Yeah. All right, coming up, we're going to talk to Ryan Krull from St. Louis Magazine, find out what stories he's covering at the moment.
Mom, what do you always say?
There's nothing sadder than jewelry that sits in a drawer.
That's why we are proud to offer jewelry repair on site at Newsetter's Fine Jewelry. We know that your jewelry is important to you, and we take that part of our job very seriously. Visit us at Doherty Ferry in Big Bend or learn more at wowdiamonds.com.
Don't get lulled into believing the IRS is getting soft. It's just the opposite. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. We are being told by IRS collection officers that their higher-ups are demanding that they get more aggressive than ever. So don't ignore them any longer. Level up. If you have unfiled returns, unpaid taxes, levies, or liens, call the Lance Story Law Firm today and let us get between you and the IRS. We'll protect your rights, including your right to appeal or even your right to take the IRS to tax court. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems, and they need to be handled by an expert attorney team who's done it for decades. So call the Lance Story Law Firm today. We're local. Our office is right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, DRURY, law.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Do you know why right now is the absolute best time to book your new patio or deck with my friends at Outdoor Living? Aside from being the best in town, these guys are really smart. They pay attention to market conditions, and they've stocked up on patio and deck supplies, including steel, all before these tariffs kicked in. So while their competitors' pricing has gone through the roof, prices have never been better at Outdoor Living. Now is the best time to call and book your summer job. Not to mention, these same competitors have sold out to large conglomerates and hedge funds. Pat Leahy and his team remain locally owned and operated, providing the best pricing and the best service in town. So, looking for a new deck or a new fence or anything outdoor? Outdoor Living, 314-966-DECK. That's 314-966-DECK. Or check them out online, Outdoor Living Inc., or check out their great showroom, Big Bend and I-44 in Kirkwood, OutdoorLivingInc.com.
You're selling your home, and I want to buy it. This is Mike Robinson with Robank Properties, and I am ready to pay top dollar for your home. No contingencies, no inspections, no monkey business. I buy your home no matter the condition or location, and you walk away with cash. Call me, Mike Robinson, at 314-283-0867, 314-283-0867, or at robankproperties.com. That's ROBANG properties.com.
Worldwide Technology Raceway is the only track in America to host a NASCAR event, an IndyCar event, and an NHRA event. Don't miss the upcoming NHRA Midwest Nationals, September 26th through the 28th, and the NHRA Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series, October 1st through the 4th. The track, under the leadership of owner Curtis Francois, continues to upgrade the race experience for fans who come from around the country. For tickets, go to www.raceway.com.
Looking for a new kitchen or bathroom? Call me, Anne-Marie Bogus, the co-host of The Inside Out Show and owner and designer of Anne-Marie Design Studio. Visit our website at annemariestudio.com. We can help you make your dream space a reality. We're a fine kitchen and bath boutique located in Wildwood. Our showroom phone number is 636-821-3395. And again, our website is annemariestudio.com. Let's turn your kitchen or bath into the dream reality with Anne-Marie Design Studio.
Diana from Newstetter's Fine Jewelers here to remind you, we don't just offer the best pieces, we offer one of the last master hand engravers in our country. My father can create timeless, personal, and unforgettable pieces. Come by our showroom at the corner of Big Bend and Doherty Ferry or learn more online at wowdiamonds.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS. It's Monday.
And that means news, politics, lighthearted topics, and everything St. Louis and beyond.
It's Ryan Krull from St. Louis Magazine on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
Welcome back, Ryan. It's always so good to have you.
Hey, likewise. Always good to be here. Thanks for having me, and happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Let's start with Jimmy Kimmel. Obviously, we just found out that he will return to his show tomorrow night, but this whole suspension has an interesting connection to St. Louis, and it's not just that he's married to a St. Louis native.
Yeah, exactly. So, basically, there's a proposed merger that might happen involving these media companies that own a lot of different TV networks throughout the country, and including, it's basically the parent company of Fox 2 and KPLR 11 here in St. Louis. They want to buy the parent company of KSDK Channel 5, Tegna. So the company Nexstar wants to buy Tegna. And in order for that to happen, it has to get FCC approval. And basically, last week, after Jimmy Kimmel made the comments about Charlie Kirk that he did, the head of the FCC said, really these media companies that air the Kimmel show, they need to take action, or else we're going to have to. So right away, Nexstar, that company I mentioned, said that they were going to pull the Kimmel program. They weren't going to air it anymore. And a lot of people wondered if this didn't have anything to do with that deal that they really needed to get the FCC's approval for. Basically there was this idea that, the parent company of Fox 2 and 11, they really want to merge with Channel 5. So they didn't want to get on the wrong side of the FCC. And the head of the FCC said that Kimmel had to go. So I guess, it doesn't take, too much connecting the dots to kind of see how one might have affected the other there.
And I'd be surprised if they did, but did any local television executives comment?
No, we didn't hear anything. I did notice that a lot of the local affiliates did sort of run they aggregated national news about Kimmel, and they ran it locally. So, kudos to them for they were clearly not afraid to kind of cover the topic. But no one commented. The head of any of the stations, they all kind of, I think, probably wisely kept mum on it.
And I don't know if you saw Kentucky Senator Rand Paul really called out the head of the FCC for his comments, calling them inappropriate. And I was really glad to see that.
Ted Cruz also.
And Ted Cruz, too. Yeah. That's right. So I was really glad to see that.
Yeah. Ted Cruz compared it to the film Goodfellas, and it's kind of tantamount to saying, well, gee, it's nice business you have here. It'd be a shame if something were to happen to it.
Yeah.
That is good.
Tucker Carlson even said this is a slippery slope. So there's a lot there. Let's move on to Governor Kehoe. He is rebuting claims by attorneys that an error in the congressional map might be grounds for a judge to reject it. What's the story here?
Yeah, so this basically has to do with the way that the Census Bureau kind of chops up the state. And these different, they're called voter tabulation districts. There's hundreds of them throughout the state. And it's kind of how they decide whose congressional district anyone is in. They don't use like counties or cities. The state's divided into these voting districts. And basically, through what a lot of people say is an error, one of these voting districts wound up in two different congressional districts. Whenever this is going back a few weeks, whenever they redistricted the state to kind of the theory was to give the GOP a little bit more of an edge here. Basically, this voting tabulation district called KC 811, which is in the Kansas City area, it is both right now seemingly in the 4th congressional district and the 5th congressional district.
So we get to vote twice.
They get double the representation. Yeah, exactly. But the governor says that this isn't an error. This is actually the Census Bureau's fault, and they accidentally named two separate districts, KC 811. Basically, two different districts have the same name. So he says it's not our fault. It's the Census Bureau's fault. A lot of people say, well, these voting districts have all had the same name for years, and the state historically redistricts every 10 years, so it's not like the first time we've done this, but this is the first time this particular error has come up in the bill. So I don't know. This is going to be one for the courts to decide, I think.
But he's going to go ahead and sign it into law.
That's what he says, but unless I missed something today, he has 45 days to sign it. He can wait until late October, but they were so rushed to get this thing passed. It is kind of curious why, they worked pretty hard at a really sort of synchronized effort to get this bill to his desk. I am surprised he hasn't signed it already.
Great point.
And I really kind of can't help but wonder if maybe this, snafu has something to do with the delay.
Now I wondered that too, and it's been a week, if not longer. The question is, what's he waiting for? I wonder if I'll sign it, and then maybe the courts will step in before he gets a chance to. I don't know why he hasn't just put pen to paper, but has he given a reason why he supports this? We've said on this show for the last couple of weeks, this is just, bald-faced gerrymandering. They used to kind of keep this in the dark and hush-hush, wink-wink, nod-nod. Now they're just doing it out in the open. Has he said specifically why he supports this?
So, yeah, and you're totally right. This is something that used to sort of be done kind of, I guess, with a little bit of disguise behind it, not this bald. But, yeah, basically his justification is that he says that, Missouri is a very Republican state, votes overwhelmingly at the state level for Republicans. This map will actually better represent the sort of political persuasion of the state by being more Republican. So that's his stated, reason. I believe it's called the Missouri First map, kind of with that in mind. But at the same time, I don't know that this was I know for a fact this wasn't a priority of his on the campaign trail. He never really talked about it until, lo and behold, President Donald Trump was saying, hey, Missouri really needs to do this. And then all of a sudden, it kind of seemed like he begrudgingly sort of went along with it. He sort of dragged his feet for a while, even after sort of Trump was making noise about it. So, no, I don't know that in his heart of hearts. I'm just sort of guessing here that this is really something he wanted to do. I think it's more he's getting pressure from the top.
Yeah. There's been a lot of talk lately, Ryan, about data centers. Where does the city of St. Louis land on this issue now?
Yeah, data centers. So this is something, I mean, who would have thought this would be the hot topic of fall 2025? But yeah, it's everywhere all of a sudden. So yeah, St. Charles put a moratorium for 1 year, no more data centers or no, progress on data centers for a year. Then I think St. Louis felt like they had to do something. We almost did the same thing. There was an idea to have our own 1 year pause on data centers. But then I think some people said, hey, wait, that might be overkill. So what happened last week was that the mayor signed an executive order that basically creates some, for lack of a better term, some additional hoops that anybody who wants to build a data center has to go through. Basically kind of provide more information about what kind of energy it's going to use, how much water, what sort of the noise pollution will be. Because previously, if you wanted to build a data center in the city of St. Louis, you basically just had to get the same permit you needed to get to open a warehouse. And they would say that this is like a data warehouse. But those are not really the same thing. So basically, I think it's probably a good thing. It allows for development, construction of these things. But I think it does make sure that we're not going to be building them in the middle of a residential street, that kind of thing. I think it was letting us be a little bit smarter about these data centers kind of at the front end before construction begins.
And stories in the news about the Armory downtown. They owe a bunch of money. The latest thing that came last week was that somebody wanted to put a data center inside the Armory. I think it's a really big space. I don't know what else you could do with it. I think it would be a shame, though, after they sunk all that money into renovating it, to just fill it with computers and close the doors.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, it has such a, unique history. It was used to build armaments during World War II, and then Arthur Ashe played tennis matches there. And
make it a pickleball, indoor pickleball club.
There's got to be something, right? It's such a unique thing. It isn't a little bit of an unusual part of town between those railroad tracks, but no, I couldn't agree more. It'd be such a shame to just have that thing be filled with computers. I'm not anti-data center at all. I think we got a lot of great industrial space that could make a fine data center. But yeah, that seems just too special, too unique to simply just house computers and nothing else.
Yeah. What else are you working on, Ryan?
Well, there's some late-breaking news about Sheriff Alfred Montgomery wrapping up something about him for tomorrow. There was a bill that just was signed into law today, actually, to create a little more oversight on his office, involving particularly keeping an eye on how he spends money. But he just filed a lawsuit this afternoon trying to stop that bill's that law's implementation. He's going to fight it in court. So it seems like there's yet another sort of legal battle that the sheriff has involved himself in.
Yeah, that story seems to never go away. You guys can follow Ryan's reports online at stlmag.com. Ryan, we'll chat next week.
Hey, looking forward to it. You guys have a great rest of your Monday.
4:32, Captain Paul, are things getting cleaned up on the roads or still having some trouble?
And now, KTRS weather from the John Beal Roofing Weather Desk.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. We have some rain coming our way Tuesday into Wednesday. We'll start off dry, though, Tuesday morning, but let's watch for some morning fog. A low of 67 degrees, then a high of 81, and it's the afternoon to evening. We'll see scattered rain and some thunderstorms overspread the area. Some of the rain Tuesday night into Wednesday morning could be heavy as well, over an inch of rainfall, but needed. We'll take it. Scattered showers redeveloped later in the afternoon Wednesday with a cooler high of 76 degrees. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
John Beal Roofing is the home of the lowest price roofing guarantee. Get a free estimate today at johnbealroofing.com.
Andy from Hatchstuff. The summer's heat is starting to break and the kids are back to school, and we're gearing up for an exciting fall with a great selection of NFL and NHL hoodies, ball caps, and so much more. We still have great deals on Cardinals and the Zoo merchandise for the entire family at fantastic prices.
We have a huge selection of St. Louis-inspired graphic tees, all at $10. And don't forget about the cowboy hats.
Located at Westport Plaza, across from the Drunken Fish and the Kobe Steakhouse, and the Soulard Farmers Market on Saturdays. Hats and stuff, good stuff at really great prices.
Hats and stuff.
Everyone's talking about these weight loss drugs, and it's a good thing we've got Dr. Joe Molesky with us, a St. Louis native and board-certified primary care physician. Dr. Joe, it can get very confusing, but the one thing we need to know is GLP-1, right? That's the magic cure.
The magic cure is these weight loss shots. They're injected once weekly. They're not like the old medications that you've seen 20, 30 years ago. These medications actually work. They're injected once weekly, and patients see within the first 90 days 10 to 15 pounds down. It simply works, and that's why I recommend it to all of my patients. You simply go online, book an appointment, you fill out a health questionnaire form, you get an appointment on our schedule. It's all telemedicine based. It's all done from your home, and then you meet with me or one of my nurse practitioners, and then after the 10, 15-minute consult, the medication is delivered right to your door discreetly, and you get started right now on your weight loss journey.
And you want to start to lose weight? None better than to call stlmedweightloss.com and ask Dr. Joe. stlmedweightloss.com.
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and owner of MasterCars Inc., Alex Rosenberger, with today's hot MasterCars Inc. deals.
Hey, thanks, Farmer Dave. This is our favorite motoring season. Great top-down weather or getting the bike out. The temps are perfect. Of course, we can fix you up with one if you're in need. Attractive financing options available with no payments until 2026. Keep that in mind. Now, if you have one and don't need it, we can help there too. We're always looking for super clean, low-mile, pristine Corvettes, muscle cars, classic cars, luxury cars, you name it. Motorcycles too, especially Ducatis and Harleys. We'll even buy entire collections. Hop on our site, submit what you've got, and we'll get you an offer. Easy as that.
So rev that motor and point your car in the direction of MasterCars Inc. and buy or sell today. 4100 Namioki Road in Granite City, or visit MasterCarsInc.com to get more details. That's MasterCarsInc.com.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-859-3220. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 to 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-859-3220. That's 800-859-3220 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-859-3220. 800-859-3220.
When you want to send flowers to a loved one for a birthday, anniversary, or that special occasion, call your friends at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll is family-owned and operated and offers custom designs by expert designers. A huge inventory and selection that only the largest florist can offer, with quality and care that no grocery store florist can meet. They have several locations in the St. Louis metro area to serve you. Order online today at WKF.com. That's WKF.com. Walter Knoll Florist, your personal florist since 1883.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Mizzou hung on for a win, got a little bump in the polls. KTRS Sports Director Brendan Weesey is here to break it all down. Would you say they played great, or they kind of just held on to it?
I mean, there were aspects that played really, really well. You had to consider just a couple of days before the game, Caden Green suffers a serious enough foot injury that he's got to undergo a procedure on Friday, knocks him out of Saturday's game. That's your starting left tackle. Javen Richardson comes into play instead, and that offensive line does not miss a beat. Like, they are road graders for those running backs, and Ahmad Hardy has another monster game. He's your SEC Player of the Week again. And again,
That's saying something.
He's
Cool.
got 600 rushing yards on the season, and there's nobody else in the SEC within 200 yards
That's
of
crazy.
this kid. I mean, he's been everything and more that Coach Drink could have asked for when he brought him over. But again, to answer your question, Heidi, did they play exceptionally well? Again, on the ground, running the ball and defending the run, fantastic. Bo was great running the ball. But your defensive backfield allows over 300 passing yards. And even though, I mean, there's this wild disparity, again, rushing yards where South Carolina, they were underwater running the football in this game, yet they still were within a possession late in the game before Robbie Meyer's kick made it a 9-point game.
And that we'll talk about the kickers in just a second, but it looked like every time it was 3rd and long. I mean, it was 3rd and 37, and they still almost got a first down and got within field goal range. 3rd and long, and they have huge plays. 3rd and long, and they score a touchdown. It's like, we've got them right where we want them, and then they let up the big plays.
Yeah, it's Coach Drink, to his credit. Like, there's been a couple of times now, the big wins, the Kansas game a few days later, and then the South Carolina game literally minutes after. Like, he is chastising his defense. He's chastising his defensive coaches right afterwards. Like, hey, yeah, we just won this big game, but this isn't good enough. And I think it's like yesterday for our Sports Sunday Mizzou breakdown with Eli Hoff, we spent like the first 20 minutes nitpicking all of everything that went wrong. And, they just won this game, and we've been really negative the first half of this show. But that's what Mizzou has done. Like, Mizzou has raised the bar a considerable amount. And when that happens, 9 or 10 wins, that's fine, but I think there's an understanding this Mizzou team is capable of a lot more.
Right.
And how that happens is you do have to figure things out on the defense. And your kicker, to that point, he's going to have some moments where he's got to make some big kicks. And I think Saturday was really important because it started to set the table a little bit for him as to what it will feel like in those moments. It wasn't a game-winning kick, but you turn a 6-point game into a 9-point game, effectively winning the game for the Tigers in a sense. So it was a critical kick, and hopefully,
and maybe gives him some confidence.
Yeah, 100%. He needs it because he hadn't been put in that spot yet.
I tell you could have done a lot more nitpicking with Illinois.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Maybe not nitpicking, burying, perhaps.
I hate to use the word fraud, but it feels
number 9 Illinois.
Not
they
anymore.
Were number 9, and they were number 9 in the country. They're still just barely in the top 25. This is a serious blow. Again, when you set expectations for, hey, we might make the playoff, games like this do maybe irreparable harm, because now for Illinois, you have to consider what is left, because the Big Ten is unlike the SEC, which is pretty doggone strong top to bottom. The Big Ten are the haves and the have-nots. The haves are the Ohio States, the Penn States, the Oregons, the Michigans.
And maybe Indiana.
And maybe Indiana.
Last year.
Exactly. But then there's a lot of have-nots, and Illinois' got a lot of have-nots on the schedule. They still get USC this weekend, and they still get Ohio State. If they were to somehow beat Ohio State, that it would get them back in the mix. But that Ohio State becomes the Buckeye game becomes a must-win, I think, for Illinois if they have any shot of making the playoff now. They could have even lost that game to Indiana by like a field goal or something, and he said, "Okay, that's a loss, but you're going to have games like that on the road. Like, you can't lose by 50." And expect, I don't care where the game is at, they could have played that game on Mars. You lose by 50, that is a huge problem. And I think it's in a playoff where there's a lot of subjectivity to selecting these teams, a 50-point loss, I think, is disqualifying for a playoff.
I'll tell you what was kind of eye-opening, all of the blocked kicks over in the NFL. It was
it
crazy.
6 on the weekend, I think?
Yeah,
5 or
I've never
6.
seen so many. Are we just we're getting so much better at setting up for this and getting our hands in the air?
I don't know. That is because I feel like we've gotten to a point with kickers in the NFL, like even the 50-yarders become automatic.
Yes.
For even just the average kickers, certainly 40-yarders are gimmies.
I mean, it couldn't have happened to a better team with the Rams.
Hey, guys, come on.
You know, I wonder if there are some I think it's just a statistical anomaly, but I wonder if there is, because they're kicking from so deep, that there's some analytics that say they're kicking it more of a line drive.
Instead of getting it up.
And then you can get up and get it. That, again, that's just a guess.
I would say that's a pretty good guess, and suddenly when you see a day where it happens that often, you wonder if word hadn't started to spread a little bit around NFL locker rooms. Okay, here's how you do it, and when it happens that many times.
I will say this, Heidi. The Rams almost beat the unbeatable Philadelphia Eagles.
Almost doesn't count.
Okay.
Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Did you almost win the bet?
No, and I think the people that had the spread, since they missed the kick and then ran it back for a touchdown, I think that blew up a lot of people's days.
How are you still defending the Rams after all these years?
You guys, do you see this? What I'm wearing right now? Do you see my Rams
It's
belt?
awful. Let's turn away. Let's switch to college basketball. Mizzou signed another 4-star recruit, giving them the top-ranked recruiting class. Have we ever had this?
Well, remember a couple of years ago, they had a top 10 class, and I think a lot was made of that. That was, for Coach Gates, the first big one after taking the job. It was his first full year as the head coach. This one feels different. Like, you've got Jason Crow, you've got Tony Bryant. Crow is a top 10 prospect at worst. Bryant's a top 20 prospect at worst. And now you bring in Aiden Chronister, who is a top 100 prospect, 4-star. He's a wing. He's a shooter. There's a lot that you like about his game in terms of knocking down some threes. Those are 3 guys.
Are they St. Louis kids? Are they
no
Missouri
St.
kids?
Louis, no Missouri connections whatsoever. So that is also it is something Coach Drink has obviously done. You expand the you expand the net, you widen the net for your recruiting purposes. And if you're going to be a national brand, yes, you have to keep the Missouri kids in Missouri. Yes, you have to keep the St. Louis kids in St. Louis, which, by the way, Dennis Gates is doing that as well. But you have to land these elite prospects from outside the area, and he's got 3 of them. And these are, I guess, they're all NBA caliber players, and it's the kind of player Mizzou has not historically procured. And now you've got 3 of them. And again, there's a long wait. This is not for this season. This is for 26, 27. So there's a wait. But it's
something to look forward to.
We've got Dennis Gates on the show tonight, a very busy, interesting big sports show where we're going to be down at Westport Social for Mizzou Mondays Live.
Yeah.
And Brad Larondo, who is the CEO of Every True Tiger Brands, which is the NIL and revenue sharing arm of Mizzou. I know he's not like a household name in terms of an athlete or a coach, but he might be the most important person in Mizzou athletics right now. When you talk about the money, revenue share money, NIL money. So he's going to be with us tonight. And then Dennis Gates, I talked to him Friday. He was over at Whitfield School for a special Big Brothers and Big Sisters basketball clinic he was hosting, and his players sort of ran.
Oh, cool.
Really cool deal for Coach Gates. So we'll talk a little bit about this year's team with Coach. We can't, just to specify, and folks might hear the interview and it's like, well, why aren't you talking about these big recruits? We can't talk about these recruits yet with the coach until they're signed. That letter of intent has to be signed. So that's still a ways away. But make no mistake about it. Dennis Gates, he's doing great. And let me, a little assist to Coach Drink in football for these basketball signings, because Tony Bryant a couple of weeks ago and Aiden Chronister this weekend, they were at the football game
and
to take in that atmosphere. And then they commit like 24 hours later. It's uncanny.
Sold them.
So continue to bring those kids in. Let them watch football. Let them see the atmosphere that's building in Columbia. And these kids want to come. They want to come play at Mizzou afterwards.
So the team this year, basketball speaking, the team's going to be fairly good. But these signings are for the next year, and then hopefully we get them for 2 or 3 years. We should be pretty good for the next couple of years.
Well,
Are we a basketball school now?
I would not assume these prospects. If these prospects are as good as advertised, they might be here a year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
And go to the NBA, especially Krull and Bryant. Now, Cronster's probably a little more, he might be a longer-term play, which is great. And that's the thing. Mizzou just, again, historically, Michael Porter Jr. was that one guy you brought in that you knew he had the fast track to the NBA. For the most part, the Tigers haven't dipped their toe in that pool of one-and-done players. But I think both Krull and Bryant would. We'll see what happens. They've got a full senior year to go. They've got more basketball to play. And in fact, Krull is going to come through St. Louis multiple times for some basketball events. The Norm Stewart in Columbia, and then I think the one up in either Edwardsville or Highland, they've got a basketball tournament that he will play in coming from California. So St. Louis folks should get to see Jason Crow Jr. multiple times this high school season as well.
Cool.
I think I would call Michael Porter Jr. a none-and-done player, but that's just me.
He played like 4 games.
3?
Well, he was
it
hurt
3?
the whole time.
Yeah.
Right.
Serious
Hard to
injury.
play when you're hurt. While we're talking basketball, round 2 of the WNBA playoffs, Indiana surprised everyone with a win over Las Vegas. Then you have St. Louis native Nafisa Collier doing what she does best, taking Minnesota over Phoenix. She's just incredible. Before we let you go, Blues made first-round cuts. Any surprises?
No, and they played a couple of exhibition games over the weekend. No wins there, which is not a big deal. They won't play again until this upcoming weekend. But work to do, and we're still 3 weeks away. But it comes quick. Like the hockey season, it's training camp, exhibition game, regular season in a blink. So nothing crazy on the Blues side yet.
And then Nolan Arenado anticipates not coming back to St. Louis.
Right. They put him in the starting lineup yesterday with the intent to then immediately pull him so he could get the ovation from the fans. It's going to be a crazy offseason for the Cardinals, and I think Chaim Bloom is going to put his stamp on this thing, which is patience.
Yeah.
And I don't know if a lot of fans are going to be on board with that, but I do think, as Rammer and I have talked about, if he comes out and says, here's the plan, lays it out there, has transparency about how this is going to work, fans may not like it, but I think they might accept it. So we'll see. Yeah.
You kind of teased what's coming up tonight, but then people can also see you on TV tonight.
Yeah, we'll be over on Fox 2 with Martin on his Sports Final show in the 10:30 portion. We'll talk some Mizzou football with Martin.
All right, we'll be watching it and listening.
Thank you, Heidi. Thank you, Rammer and Josh.
8 minutes before 5 o'clock, Captain Paul, what are you seeing?
Galmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Galmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
Are you tired of looking at those old, worn-out floors? Have you been dreaming of new hardwood floors? Well, then you should start dreaming about Boardwalk Hardwood. It's their annual warehouse sale going on right now through the end of September at all 4 locations. At Boardwalk Hardwood Floors, half off new floors. You can get half off inventory and factory specials and up to 25% off special order items. Their showrooms, 4 of them at Boardwalk Hardwood Floors, are filled with beautiful styles, great budgets, From timeless classics to modern designs and everything in between, your home will look beautiful with gorgeous hardwood floors. Rich, stunning hardwood floors courtesy of BoardwalkHardwood.com. For 25 years, Boardwalk has been your trusted, local, family-owned, quality flooring provider. And if you need hardwood floors, it's their annual warehouse sale now through the end of September at all 4 locations. Boardwalk Hardwood or BoardwalkHardwood.com.
Are you in your 50s and wondering if your 401k is still working for you? This is the decade when every contribution counts and mistakes can add up. From missing catch-up contributions to letting old accounts sit unattended, small errors could lead to big regrets later. Talk to Pioneer Wealth Management today. We help people like you make smarter retirement moves, especially when it matters most. Visit PioneerWealthMGMT.com and plan a retirement you can feel confident about.
Investment advisory services offered through Creative One Wealth, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Creative One Wealth and Pioneer Wealth Management are not affiliated companies. Licensed insurance professionals. Investing involves risk, including possible loss of principal.
Elevate your home with stunning lighting from Metro Lighting.
Shopping for a gorgeous chandelier for your dining room?
Need a new table lamp?
Or lighting your entire dream home?
Our certified lighting specialists are here to help.
Locally owned with 6 convenient locations.
An amazing selection of lighting for any style and budget.
And all at the guaranteed best price.
And did you know?
Metro Lighting is a great source for furniture, art, and home decor too.
Metro Lighting.
Full of bright ideas for your home.
Truck drivers and owner-operators, there's never been a better time to team up at Schneider. We have more team-friendly loads than ever, including express delivery parcel freight that offers great miles with no delays to keep the wheels turning. Plus, for a limited time, company team drivers may be eligible for a sign-on bonus of up to $16,000. Owner-operator teams may qualify for a $10,000 incentive. Explore team driver positions at SchneiderJobs.com and search team contracting jobs at SchneiderOwnerOperators.com.
Repairing chimneys, walkways, porches, foundations, entire homes, anything to do with brick or stone, you need a tuck pointer you can trust, and that, of course, is Morelli. Morelli is a family-run business started in 1991, and they're only as good as their last customer. That's why when you check out the reviews online at MorelliTuckPointing.com, you'll notice that they're actual customers who are singing the praises of Morelli. So if you need a tuck pointer, you need Morelli. 314-645-1387 or MorelliTuckPointing.com.
Your biggest choice in home restoration is who do you trust with your home, your most valued asset? Few can match Banner Construction's experience and dedication to excellence. Banner is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor and Pella window specialist. Restoration is a one-time opportunity to have Banner's design team show you architectural options to make your home the neighborhood showcase. Call for a free consultation, 314-569-1050. And have a Banner Day.
Over 7,500 acres, 100-plus lakes, on-site eateries, a championship golf course, nature trails, event space, and so much more. Of course, I'm talking about Innsbrook, just 45 minutes west of St. Louis, a perfect place for families to unplug. Whether it's A-frames or cottages or condos or villas or custom homes, in fact, Innsbrook is having a fall home tour going on right now, Saturday, October 18th from 12 to 4. To find out more at Innsbrook-resort.com. That's Innsbrook-resort.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again.
Well, Heidi and Bob, back in the day on this date, September 22nd, 1776, Captain Nathan Hale said his famous last words, "I only regret that I have but one life to lose for my country," just before he was hanged for spying behind enemy lines on a mission for George Washington's army. True patriot, right? 1862, Abraham Lincoln issued the preliminary Emancipation Proclamation, declaring that all slaves in rebel states should be freed as of January 1st, 1863. We know that didn't happen. 1927, Jack Dempsey knocked out heavyweight boxing champ Gene Tunney in the 7th round, attempting to regain the title. Listen to this. I don't think I know this story. The referee refused to start the count until Dempsey went to a neutral corner, giving Tunney an extra 3 or 4 seconds to get up.
The famous long count.
Which he did, and he went on to win the fight.
Huh.
They say 10 people died of heart attacks while listening to the fight on the radio. That's what it says.
A left, a right, and another left.
Oh, I can't take it anymore.
Down goes Tunney.
Have you done boxing?
Yeah, it's fun.
Is it?
It's really fun.
You said you could do any. Just give me a sport and you could do it, right?
Well, I didn't say how well I could do it.
Okay.
You know what's crazy about it though is somebody gets knocked down or knocked out right in front of you. It's kind of awful.
Ooh, God, wouldn't that be?
And how often does the spit hit you?
Ugh.
Oh, I don't mind the spit.
Kind of like the spit. And I didn't know this. 2008, the U.S. Mint revealed the first changes to the penny in 50 years. The Lincoln Memorial no longer on the back of pennies. Now they represent other parts of Lincoln's life, a log cabin, him as a young man with an axe, the U.S. Capitol building, which was built during his presidency, and him standing in front of the State House in Illinois where he first entered politics. I guess I just haven't seen a penny in so darn long.
Well, you want to get rid of them, so.
Well, soon they'll all be part of the copper tubing in your house.
I've got a whole cup full of pennies in the back. I'm going to go start looking through them. I don't think I've seen the back of a penny in ages.
All right, coming up, we're going to talk to a professor of biology at WashU. She's the author of The Social Lives of Birds. It is interesting what these animals can and cannot do. We'll talk about that coming up at 5:10. We got some entertainment news, and then and only then will we wrap this show up with some random. So I hope you'll hang out with us for another hour here on the Big 550 KTRS St. Louis.
KTRS St. Louis.
Scooped up by Missouri Zion Young at the 15, to the 10, to the house, to the house.
The home of Mizzou football. Don't miss any of the action.
The White House announcing its findings that suggest possible links between autism and the use of acetaminophen during pregnancy. The common painkiller is known as Tylenol. President Trump says the FDA will advise doctors of a slight more increased risk and recommend limiting the use.
It's a small number of cases, I think. But if you can't tough it out, if you can't do it, that's what you're going to have to do. You'll take a Tylenol, but it'll be very sparingly.
Researchers pushing back on the connection, saying the data is limited compared to decades of science. ABC's Selena Wang has more.
Trump has been teasing an announcement around autism for weeks, and back in April, Kennedy had pledged to find the root cause of autism by this month, by September. But this is something that scientists have been studying for decades, and they say it is just not possible to determine a single answer in such a short period of time.
French President Emmanuel Macron today speaking at the UN General Assembly, announcing France will recognize a Palestinian state. It comes as the UK, Canada, and Australia are also expected to formalize support for a two-state solution. ABC News State Department reporter Shannon Kingston.
The White House said earlier today that President Trump is planning to focus his speech tomorrow on what he says are the harms that globalist institutions like the UN do to the world, and that he sees this push to recognize a Palestinian state as a reward for Hamas. But the UN Secretary General is already pushing back on that idea, saying an independent state for Palestinians is not a reward, but a right.
The Supreme Court allowing President Trump to move ahead with the termination of Federal Trade Commissioner Rebecca Slaughter. The firing was reinstated by lower courts under a nearly century-old ruling. The High Court will take up the case in December. You're listening to ABC News.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code COOL to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code COOL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code COOL for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
This is KTRS News. I'm Sobe Bay. The St. Louis County Police Department is investigating the accidental death of an 8-year-old boy. The incident happened yesterday in the 1100 block of Larimore Road, in which the child was playing on a backyard swing when it collapsed. The child, Cortez Williams Jr., was trapped beneath the crossbar. County police say that family members were able to free Williams Jr., and it appeared that he had sustained minor injuries. However, the child became unresponsive and was taken to the hospital where he later passed away. A suspect is in custody after a shootout with St. Louis police this morning. Police say the suspect fired shots at officers in the 1600 block of Hampton at around 7 this morning. Officers returned fire. None of the officers nor the suspect were hit in the gunfire. The Illinois Freedom Caucus is calling for the impeachment of Governor J.B. Pritzker. The group, comprised of conservative state lawmakers, have filed a resolution accusing Pritzker of inciting violence. The Illinois Freedom Caucus released a statement which reads in part, Governor Pritzker has repeatedly compared his political opponents to Nazis and gone so far as to call for violence against them. Last week, moments after Charlie Kirk was assassinated, Pritzker went so far as to blame President Trump and January 6th for his murder. The Missouri Highway Patrol wants the public to be aware of several new laws related to crime and public safety. Details from KTRS's Steve Potter.
New legislation enacted by the Missouri General Assembly went into effect August 28th, and the State Highway Patrol wants to make sure that citizens are updated. Those updates include the statute dealing with enticement of a child. The age to qualify as a victim has been increased from less than 15 years old to less than 17. For sexual trafficking of a child, the age of a victim has been raised from under the age of 12 to under the age of 14. Another new law revision deals with unlawfully gaining entry into a motor vehicle. If someone tries to open the doors or locks of successive motor vehicles to gain entry, that is now a Class A misdemeanor. If someone interferes with the duty of a first responder after a verbal warning, that is now a Class B for the first offense and a Class A for the second. And if someone performs stunt driving in connection with a street takeover, the first offense will be a Class B misdemeanor, Class A for the second, and a third offense, now a Class E felony. You can find a complete description of these and other newly enacted laws on the Missouri House of Representatives and Missouri Senate websites. Steve Potter, KTRS News.
A new number one selling beer is in this KTRS Business Minute, brought to you by Walter Knoll Florists, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. Anheuser-Busch is announcing that Michelob Ultra is now the best-selling beer in America. It takes the top spot from Modelo Especial, which had held that title since 2023. That's when the country's then best-selling beer, Bud Light, came under fire from critics for its partnership with transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney. And now let's take a look at the markets, brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune in to Straight Talk on Retirement Saturday mornings from 9 to 11 a.m. Wall Street at the close today, the Dow Jones up 66 points to 46,381. S&P 500 up 29 points to 6693, and the Nasdaq up 157 points to 22,788. Now let's check sports and traffic with Captain Paul Kopsky. Thank you, Captain Paul. KTRS weather. Tonight, cloudy, overnight low of 65. Tomorrow, late afternoon rain, high of 77. Right now, we have 78 degrees. The time is 5:08. I'm Sobe Bay, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Congratulations to John Beal Roofing. Want to give them a shout out. They've been a sponsor of the show through thick and through thin for coming up on 20 years. And their message has remained the same all these 20 years. Make sure you call someone local. With all the storms that have been in the area over the last couple of months, it's been busy, and a lot of out-of-towners are coming in. They sure are nice, but you know what? They'll take half your money, and you never see them again. Somebody from the insurance industry told me, make sure you call local. I told them I was well-schooled. John Beal Roofing will guarantee you the best price. They'll work with your insurance company and make sure you get the claim you deserve to fix it and fix it right. Roofing, siding, gutters, all storm damage. John Beal Roofing will take care of it. Keep it local and keep it John Beal. Keep it in the family for 20-plus years. John Beal Roofing, 1-800-NEW-ROOF or johnbealroofing.com.
Stay connected with the Big 550 KTRS, streaming 24/7 online at KTRS.com or on the KTRS app. Powered by JBL Financial. Stream Straight Talk on Retirement every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS. Now it's time for the KTRS Book Club.
It's called reading. Top to bottom, left to right. Group words together as a sentence.
Powered each week by the St. Louis County Library on the Big 550.
Well, you see, I spell them like they sound, you know.
KTRS.
Birds are fascinating creatures. It's something renowned professor of animal behavior and best-selling author Joan Strassman knows all too well. She's coming to town this Wednesday to discuss her new book, The Social Lives of Birds. But first, she's talking with us. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, I'm delighted to be here.
I live with a birder, so I am slowly learning about birds. As a matter of fact, we got a text this morning that said, which male bird can you often see fighting his own reflection? Do you know the answer to that?
Well, that's common, I think. I've seen male cardinals do it against glass windows.
Exactly. You know, my question is, we often hear the phrase, birds of a feather flock together. Is this actually true?
Yeah, I suppose the answer would be yes and no. You do often see birds that are the same species together, but there can also be other birds in the area. If there's a resource like a good nesting place or a good place to hide, you might find different species together.
Are birds discriminating? Because, you know, they're wildly different colors, shapes, sizes. Do they ever intermingle?
So I don't think we'd want to take too many any kind of human advice from what the birds do, because mostly the birds are in it for themselves. And so if they mingle in a roosting area, the bigger birds might get the better spots and then force the smaller birds to be lower down, for example, in a roost, where they would be subject to something that is referred to as fecal rain.
Oh, no.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
You know what's amazing to me is how we humans want to put personalities to certain birds with no regard for what they mean to the ecosystem, whether it's crows and buzzards versus predator birds like eagles and falcons, and and then here in St. Louis we love cardinals, and robins seem fine, but we want to attach more or less human personalities to different kind of birds, don't we?
Yes, we do. And sometimes, when you see the blue jays all sounding the alarm.
Oh, they're mean. Blue jays are mean.
Well, you could say blue jays are letting all the other birds know where a hawk is or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite bird?
Well, I always like to say that my favorite bird is either the bird I just saw or the bird that I'm looking for. So This morning, I did see a bunch of blue jays. The robins seem to be gathering. In my little local park here in St. Louis, I saw about 15 different robins, and I imagine some will stick around and others will fly just a little bit farther south. So I like the birds that I see.
Yeah. Joan, we have friends in Minnesota that we visit every summer, and we have just fallen in love with the loons, partly because they meet every night for social hour.
Yeah, loons are special, and their voices are so haunting. I spend part of my summer up in Michigan, and just hearing the loons is just magic.
So, what can be learned by studying birds?
The thing about studying birds is they communicate visually, whereas mammals mostly communicate by odors, which is tough for us. So we can just really understand how behavior works by watching birds, since they're communicating on the same channels that we are. So we can understand all kinds of reasons why social behavior evolved.
It is fascinating. And I read at some point that some male birds perform mating dances together.
So that's true. There are some males that, like the lance-tailed manakin in Panama, where one male will dance and be assisted by another male, even though if they do attract a female, the first male gets all of the matings and the second male is just helping out. So that's one of those big mysteries.
It's a wingman.
Exactly.
I see what you did there.
Uh-huh.
And have you studied much on the raptors, the eagles, the hawks, the falcons? To me, they're really fascinating because we don't see a lot of them here. I know up along the bluffs and Alton up there, we'll see bald eagles. But I think the raptors really fascinate me the most.
Oh, raptors are fabulous. And if you're right here in town, you're going to have the Cooper's hawks. They may come visit your bird feeder and feed themselves, but not in the way you might have attended. They also have plucking posts, which are places not too far from their nests where they go and they pull apart their prey and drop the pieces they don't want. So I have a plucking post that I've been able to watch just on my walk from home over to Wash U, and that's a lot of fun.
Wow.
Do birds eat each other?
Of course they do. Of course they do.
Wow.
Yes, I mean, usually not their own species because they're too evenly matched, but Cooper's hawks are specialists on eating birds, whereas our bald eagles are specialists on fish.
So fascinating. How are the different bird groups broken down? I mean, obviously we know the birds of prey, but when we're talking about kind of more common birds.
So there's a whole kind of tree of life that covers the birds. And if you want to get some idea of it, you might want to look at their bills and see that the finches have the big triangular bills for eating seeds, whereas the warblers have little thin bills for eating insects. So there's a whole family tree of birds, and they go all the way back to the dinosaurs because they are the living remnants of the dinosaurs.
And I think it's so fascinating, that connection. You'll look at a T-Rex and you'll say, how are birds related to this? But then you'll see other species of dinosaurs. And, the raptors on Jurassic Park #1, they were the size of turkeys, not huge like the movie makes them out to be. And #2, they're covered in feathers. So when you see them like that, you look at an ostrich or a cassowary, they kind of look like dinosaurs. So I always found that was fascinating to know that connection was there. But I've seen crows use tools to get food. We know that crows are really, really smart. Are all birds smart, or are they just operating off of eat food for survival, procreate, and die?
Well, even if their program might be eat, mate, and die, how you get there is very complicated, and it's complicated for birds just as it is for us. And so birds have all kinds of different fascinating skills to do that. Just going back to your dinosaur example, I'll just tell you two little cool things. One is it's turning out there's a lot more feathered dinosaurs than they first thought, which I think is cool. And the other thing that I just love is that the dinosaurs that we know about that were the ancestors of birds that sit over the eggs, protecting them and incubating them in the nest were the dads and not the moms.
That is so interesting. We're talking to renowned professor of animal behavior, best-selling author Joan Strassman, and we'll tell you where she's going to be this Wednesday in just a second. But is there a pecking order, so to speak? Like, do they take turns protecting the flock?
So I think I said earlier that unfortunately it's every bird for themselves.
Got it.
So they're going to be in a flock because they get protection in that way, but they do also share. So if there's a flock of 10, 9 of them might have their beaks in the mud feeding, and then the 10th one will be up looking for predators. And they'll kind of take turns with that role. And so if you find a flock of birds, you can kind of look for the one that's being vigilant and the ones that are not, because they do take turns in that way.
Are geese the only ones that fly in formations like that? Do other ducks do it? Do other birds do it?
Oh, lots of birds do it that are flying long distances. The geese do it, the cranes do it, lots of ducks do it. Migrating hawks do not do it, and the reason is that the hawks are generally riding on thermals, so they're waiting for the currents of air to carry them up, and then they sort of float on that. And so the migrating hawks may be in groups, but they're not pounding their way across the landscape the way that geese and cranes and ducks are.
And Joan, when we have seen the sky almost black with blackbirds, what are we seeing there?
Well, what you're seeing, at least from where I am, is they're flying east at night and going to some places along the Mississippi River. I've seen them at Cahokia, and they're finding shelter for the night in massive colonies of birds. And then when daytime comes, they fly out from that place, and many of them come fly over my own home, just a little bit west of downtown St. Louis. And I could just see them flying out to the grain fields.
And I know you said that, birds are in it for themselves. Do they ever help each other build nests?
Well, so yes, they do. There's lots of ways that birds help each other, and they'll help and they'll compete. So there's birds like the Taiwan Yuhina or the greater Anis, where they'll all, like a group of like 3 or 4 pairs, will build a nest together, and then the females will lay in that nest, and they won't be able to tell which chick is theirs. So they'll all feed them. So they do help. And then the real helpers are when the babies from the year before stick around with their parents and take care of their younger siblings.
So as a professor of biology, and you've written multiple books on birds, I got to ask you this question. When I fill up my bird feeder, how do they know it's there? Because I'll walk back inside and all of a sudden I'll look out the window and there's 20 birds out there. Do they see it? Do they smell it? Do they tell each other, hey, there's food over here?
So they see it. They're up there in the trees and they see it. And if you haven't filled it in a few days or a week, they might take longer to find it. But I've seen in my little feeder a chickadee way up in the tree just watching me.
Just waiting for you. Well, you can hear more from WashU Professor Joan Strassman this Wednesday at 7 at the Clark Family Branch of the St. Louis County Library, where she'll be discussing and signing her new book, The Social Lives of Birds, Flocks, Communes, and Families. You can find her book at Left Bank Books in the Central West End, among other bookstores. Thank you so much for joining us and educating us this afternoon.
It's really been a pleasure talking with you, and I hope you enjoy the birds.
Always. It is fascinating. It's so weird that the way I started my day was with a bird book this morning that Marcia got as a gift yesterday for her birthday, and already is going to it to find little facts.
Bird facts.
Bird facts. I got to tell you, there are a lot of fun facts about SSM Health Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. And one of those is just how they have never turned a child away, even if they cannot afford it. They knew that there was going to be some charity involved. But what I like are the many ways that all of us can participate. We can participate in the Sun Run, which I have signed up for. That's taking place October 12th in Forest Park. It's going to be so fun because you also get to see all of the Glennon kids in their red shirts, and you just know that they are strong. And I'm going to say, in our case, quite feisty. But then you also have the card that will come back right before Christmas, where you'll get all kinds of discounts from all kinds of different boutiques and restaurants. That's a great way that you can help. And when I say help, you're helping with all of the fantastic extras of the hospital, like a little reading nook, or maybe it's a game room. Maybe it is an arcade where kids can be kids for a second, because look, no child should ever be in a hospital, but it happens. And so you want to make the most of all of that. You want to make sure that they are getting the care they need and the love they need. And that's what they get at Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. You can learn more, read some of the fantastic stories, see how you can help at glennon.org.
Some of my fondest memories as a kid is heading down to the hardware store. You had to pick up a couple of nails, a couple of screws, maybe a gallon of paint, whatever it may be, right? It was your friendly neighborhood hardware store. Well, those don't exist anymore in St. Louis, except for Schnarr's Hardware. They have two locations in Webster Groves and in Clayton Road in Ladue. Schnarr's Hardware is that place where you go in and you can get that bucket of paint, you can get a couple of screws. The advice is always free. And the one thing about Schnarr's Hardware that every single family hardware store used to have, and that is the smell. It smells like a hardware store. It's got the selection. I don't know how they do it. It's a small store, but they got everything you ever need. They got the paint. They got paint matching. They've got big green eggs. They've got screws and nails and everything a hardware store should have. Schnarr's Hardware. 2 locations, 1 great hardware store. Schnarr's Hardware. We'll see you there.
Scott, can you believe it's already been more than a decade since the Queen of Carpets sold flooring to St. Louis area contractors?
I know, but I don't have to be a king to offer contractors today's lowest prices.
Yes, contractors owe it to their customers and themselves to shop at Best Buy Flooring for the largest in-stock selection of carpet, carpet tile, sheet vinyl, laminate, hardwood, luxury vinyl plank, and luxury vinyl tile.
Plus 3 convenient locations, North County, South County, and Metro East.
Open 7 days a week.
Best flooring, best selection, Best Buy. Best Buy Flooring.
How do you separate estate planning from elder law? You don't, because they're so intertwined. Let's face it, we're all getting older, and you need to make these decisions today, whether it's for your parents, for yourself, or for future generations. Rudy Beck, Jay Lennox, and Carolyn Stolzer have been navigating these important decisions for more than 50 years. Beck, Lennox, Stolzer, Estate Planning, and Elder Law. Call them, 636-946-7899 or beckelderlaw.com. You can thank me later.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Truck drivers, have you been searching for a more reliable driving job? Get the paychecks and predictability you need as a Schneider driver. Schneider's large selection of driving jobs means you can get the home time that suits your schedule. Choose from daily, weekly, monthly, or sometime in between. Plus, Schneider drivers have access to great benefits with a 401k match and a 24/7 support team. Get the keys to a better driving job. Search openings near you and apply now at SchneiderJobs.com.
Have you seen all the 5-star reviews Michael's Baths has gotten on Google? How about their A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau? Everyone, including the nanny, raves about Michael's friendly office staff and their experienced installation team. With over 30 years of experience, all they do is bathrooms. They're not trying to be the biggest. They just want to be the best. Right now, get a free shower door or $500 off your bathroom remodel. Call Michael's Baths, 636-775-0800 or michaelsbaths.com.
Galmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Galmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
Tune in Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for Straight Talk and Retirement with Jeff and Aaron Lapidus for an intimate understanding of the retirement needs you may soon be facing. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
5:30, Captain Paul. Are the roads clearing up?
And now, KTRS weather from the John Beal Roofing Weather Desk.
I'm First Alert 4 Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton. We have some rain coming our way Tuesday into Wednesday. We'll start off dry, though, Tuesday morning, but let's watch for some morning fog. A low of 67 degrees, then a high of 81, and it's the afternoon to evening. We'll see scattered rain and some thunderstorms overspread the area. Some of the rain Tuesday night into Wednesday morning could be heavy as well, over an inch of rainfall, but needed. We'll take it. Scattered showers redevelop later in the afternoon Wednesday with a cooler high of 76 degrees. That's the latest from the First Alert 4 Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Steve Templeton for the Big 550 KTRS.
John Beal Roofing is the home of the lowest price roofing guarantee. Get a free estimate today at johnbealroofing.com.
There's a list going around the internet. Something that is totally normal, but that's oddly creepy. And I can totally agree with what one person said. When your cat or dog is just kind of staring at the corner of the room, don't you always wonder, like, what do they see?
What are they seeing
that we don't see?
I always assume it's a mouse in the wall. Or a ghost.
I was going to say ghost. Yeah, just a ghost. But they probably do hear something in the wall, which is creepy. Somebody else said a chair that's still warm from the person that just got up.
I hate that.
But is it gross or creepy? I think it's gross.
Yeah.
Playgrounds at night, especially when you just see the swing kind of blowing.
Super creepy.
Mm-hmm.
I always found churches kind of creepy, like empty churches, kind of creepy.
Oh, I think that's kind of a place for solace.
I don't know. I found it kind of weird.
Maybe that's just what you're feeling.
When you dip your finger into the holy water, it steams.
Yeah, now that's creepy.
I still have a scar.
Today is National Ice Cream Cone Day.
Yeah.
Do you do a cone or do you do a cup?
I'm a cup guy.
I am too.
Although I appreciate the tradition of the cone, but I don't want to let any drop not only get on me, but not get in me.
Yeah.
So I want
like the
cup.
spoon and just even.
Give me the cup.
Yeah. I don't think we're alone. 1/3 of us prefer ice cream in a cup. Now, a lot of people think it is basically un-American to not have it in a cone of some sort.
Yeah,
but
well-
I don't love a cone. I feel like that's just the extras. I want the ice cream.
What is so a waffle cone? I get that. It's kind of waffly. That seems to be pretty popular.
That's the 32% of us want that.
Waffle cone.
Yeah.
What is the cone? The regular traditional
Sugar cone.
Is it? Oh, it's sugar.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you ever had those wafer? Those what are those? They're kind of like long rectangles, and they got icing in the middle.
Oh,
but
yeah.
on the outside,
Yeah.
they're kind of wafery.
Yeah.
I always feel like that's what that cone is kind of made of.
Maybe.
Kinda.
Yeah, that's probably true.
But it's just sugar.
I mean, there's probably a mixture of.
Yeah, I like the cone that's kind of like, and I guess it's technically a waffle cone that's like the cone of a drumstick.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
also a cake cone, and I don't know what a
Oh,
cake cone
I don't either.
Cake
is.
cone.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then, there's that small percentage that just wants something else in general, like a specialty cone, which is maybe what. But yeah, a cake cone I'm not aware of.
We always go to the malt shop in Valley Park, Fenton, right there off of 141, the malt shop. It's a terrific place. And I would say it almost looks 50-50 when I'm standing and watching people come out. About
Of what they're
50-50
grabbing?
cups and cones.
Huh. Okay.
All right. So BaskinRobbins.com.
Yes.
Home of 31 flavors, by the way. Do they ever have any new flavors? 32,
No,
33.
you've never
some
seen
things?
Blazing Saddles?
Oh,
No.
boy.
Where,
Is there
I
a
have
joke?
not.
Yeah,
Can
where
you tell it on the air?
well, yeah, Howard Johnson is in the town. Howard Johnson, one flavor.
Oh,
Because it's the Old West.
yeah, just have one flavor. The sugar cone is the ultimate classic ice cream cone choice. The cake cone is a crowd pleaser. For
What does it
those
look like?
Looking for a lighter, crispy texture. It
You know
looks,
what?
it
The
looks,
cake
same?
the cake
Looks the
cone is what
same.
I was thinking of, where it's cone and then it flares out.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the cake cone.
Okay.
I never heard
so
it
the
called
sugar
that.
cone is more like a waffle cone,
Yes.
and then you have the waffle cone.
Yes.
Okay.
I think the sugar cone is the one I think that I
I think
like.
so too.
Yeah.
Now
that I see the pictures.
I think the cake cone is the one I always picture of an ice cream.
The traditional,
cone.
yeah.
Traditional
Somebody
ice
said the
cream
cake cone is made out of the same stuff as communion wafers.
That's what it tastes like.
Well, this person
That's
is
what it
right.
tastes like. Except there's zero sugar in the church wafers.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what's your favorite ice cream flavor?
I'm going chocolate all the time.
Got a favorite bird? What's your favorite flavor?
Haagen-Dazs Dulce de Leche.
Oh, you've got one. Oh,
Mm.
even the brand. You even knew the brand.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
Yeah.
It's from the guy that thinks ice cream is a commodity.
It's my favorite food.
Can't let a drop spill
Well, it does
on the
have
ground.
some.
Not one drop, buddy.
It's dairy. It's in our, food
Well,
group.
Bob is treating ice cream like it's worth its weight in gold. And so maybe I'll ask Jeff Zufall on the show this weekend, say, is there any reason why I should take all my money and put it into ice cream? Apparently Bob thinks that it's
Yeah.
I think go for it.
more valuable than titanium. But he can talk to you about the metals. He can talk to you about, regular, AI stocks, right? I saw a thing, the best AI stocks to buy right now. Maybe that's the new thing. I don't know. I don't know anything about this stuff. That's why I have a guy, and his name is Jeff Zufall. 636-394-5524. Not only can he help you out with your retirement, tell you what to invest in, tell you different ways to save up so that you've got a bunch of money and maybe you can retire at 65. Bob's pushing 70 over here.
Oh my gosh.
He's still working. You need to go to Jeff Zufall.
Just shut him down.
What? Bob, don't
Give him my Social Security number
I
while you're
would
at
like
it.
to say that Bob is in his baseball uniform. He can push whatever he wants. He's still going to the field
But
tonight.
I'm just I'm not playing. I'm just wearing it for fun.
Oh,
Yeah. You don't want to kick your feet
Costume.
up and retire down at the beach.
he's
Come
not a
on.
retiring kind of guy.
No,
he's a doer.
not. Yeah. Unlike us, Heidi, we want to retire as soon as possible. Give Jeff a call, 636-394-5524. Like I said, he can help you retire, but he can also save you money in taxes. That's what he does the best. Keep What's Yours is the radio show that we do every weekend, and it'll be on at 3 o'clock this Saturday afternoon.
Dr. Joe, it can get very confusing, but the one thing we need to know is GLP-1, right? That's the magic cure.
Yeah, they're on the med, and these medications are used, these GLP-1s, for reducing inflammation in your body. I get so many folks that are like, wow, I don't have the knee pain. I don't have the...
Because once you start losing weight, all these other things naturally happen to you in a positive way. Not just talk about the deals for KTRS listeners at stlmedweightloss.com.
All KTRS listeners, they get $50 to $100 off their first month. And what's beautiful about it, too, hey, I get it. The economy, what we just had, guys, things are difficult right now, but we make the plan work for you. We have financing options. We make this work for you because we realize how important it is to get down in your weight, get your confidence back, and really start feeling like the old you.
Call stlmedweightloss.com and ask Dr. Joe. stlmedweightloss.com.
Your biggest choice in home restoration is who do you trust with your home, your most valued asset. Few can match Banner Construction's experience and dedication to excellence. Banner is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor and Pella Windows specialist. Restoration is a one-time opportunity to have Banner's design team show you architectural options to make your home the neighborhood showcase. Call for a free consultation, 314-569-1050. And have a banner day.
The fall leaves are starting to change colors, and soon enough they'll be dropping. Do you have old or damaged trees that need to come down too? Let the qualified arborists at Raised Tree Service do the work for you. Raised Tree Service has over 30 years of experience servicing the St. Louis area. Give them a call today at 314-821-2665 for a free estimate with one of their professionals. That's 314-821-2665 or online at raisedtreeservice.com.
Electricity is very important because if you don't have electricity, you're sitting in the dark in more ways than one. And when the lights go out for one last time, maybe, just maybe, you want a whole home generator. Well, that's where Michael Baldy comes in because Michael Baldy can do that. He's putting in a whole home generator for a friend of mine on the hill. Whether you live on the hill or a brand new home, at some point you're going to need some electrical help, and that's where Michael Baldy comes in. He's been an electrician since 1996, and he has a full team of electricians who will help you every single step of the way, whether it's a whole home generator, maybe some extra plugs for the Christmas lights, maybe it's something in the basement, something in the attic, maybe the garage. Doesn't matter. Whether it's an old Victorian home or a brand new commercial building, indoor or out, Michael Baldy, the electrician, has got to be on your phone. Put him on your speed dial, 314-968-9999, 314-968-9999. You can thank me later. Michael Baldy, BaldyElectric.com.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you are facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
Looking for a great local restaurant recommendation? Missy Mo. Tune in to the Kuno Food Service weekly special during the Frank and Jill Show, Thursdays at 11. Hear from the best of the best restaurant owners in town. Only on the Frank and Jill Show, Thursdays at 11. Presented by Kuno Food Service, right here on the Big 550 KTRS, the talk of St. Louis. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Before we get to entertainment, can I tell you about our very clever listeners? Somebody asked, does Josh know why when birds fly in formation, one side is longer than the other? And I texted back and said, I don't.
Yeah,
Why?
I don't know.
Because there's more birds on one side.
Oh.
I said, well done.
One of those.
Save that for Halloween.
Yeah. And then they said, happy early Halloween.
Oh, they did?
Yeah. So you guys, thank you for being a part of the
One of those jokes.
show. You probably have heard by now, Jimmy Kimmel's show will be returning tomorrow. The Walt Disney Company issued a statement saying, in part, last Wednesday, we made the decision to suspend production on the show to avoid further inflaming a tense situation at an emotional moment for our country. It is a decision we made because we felt some of the comments were ill-timed and thus insensitive. We have spent the last days having thoughtful conversations with Jimmy, and after those conversations, we reached the decision to return the show on Tuesday. So
Bring me back or I sue you. That's pretty thoughtful.
Here's my question. Nextstars and the Tegnas, wasn't Nextstar the impetus of all of this? They said if ABC is in one of our markets, we're not going to show it.
Well,
and it kind of forced their hand.
We don't know if they'll air it.
So
There's a good chance that they won't.
What are they going to do? That's
and I
what
was
I'm
trying to
gonna
do a search to see if they've made any statements, and I haven't seen it yet. But we'll be hearing more tomorrow. I can almost promise you. Taylor Swift, the queen of marketing, is releasing a film in theaters to go along with her new album, The Life of a Showgirl. It's called Official Release Party of a Showgirl. It's 89 minutes long. It will be in theaters October 3rd through the 5th. Tickets are on sale now. They're $12 since it's her 12th album. The film will include the world premiere of the music video for a new single, The Fate of Ophelia, plus behind-the-scenes footage of making the album and lyric videos. But this is where Taylor is brilliant. The movie has already made $15 million, and this is just the first day of pre-sale.
Oh, my.
What, is it a concert film?
It's a behind-the-scenes. It is
It's a documentary?
No, I mean, it's a little bit of all of it. It's just a look.
Is it a narrative?
It doesn't.
Is she acting in this?
No,
it's not scripted.
No,
Scripted?
it's
Okay.
the official release party of this album.
Okay.
So it is the video of her first song, her new single. So that video, and then it's kind of behind the scenes making the album.
So it's about an hour and a half in theaters for one weekend.
Right. The Rolling Stones are working on new music. That's really all we know. And meanwhile, John Bon Jovi is talking about becoming a grandfather for the first time. He said, "It is beautiful. I want to see pictures every day," which I do think is pretty sweet, but we don't really think of John Bon Jovi as a grandpa.
Teen idol John Bon Jovi.
Right.
John Bon Jovi.
Yeah, that too.
That's his real name.
During his Radio City Music Hall show on Saturday, Hugh Jackman brought Pink and her daughter Willow on stage to sing a couple songs, and Willow was fantastic.
Did you see it?
Yes.
It was really good, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
And
real.
Pink got tears.
Yes.
Oh, it was really sweet.
And then, did you see Pink also kind of go, you were okay at one point? Like, you just know that she's poking. She wants to be on Broadway, she has said over and over again, and she's got the talent.
And she was on stage with Hugh Jackman, and he was delighted at her performance.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
It was. And if you don't know, Pink sang on Greatest Showman when they did all of those different kind of covers of that album, that movie.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's where they became friends. Sabrina Carpenter is going to make her Grand Ole Opry debut on October 7th. It's part of the Opry's 100th anniversary celebrations. Lots of people playing the Opry. On the latest episode of her Good Hang podcast, Amy Poehler talks about comedy being left out of the big awards. And this is something I have not really ever given a lot of thought to. But if you think about the Oscars, when does a comedy ever get
Not very often.
the recognition? Maybe Bridesmaids maybe had a...
I don't know why, because I think comedy in many ways is harder.
That's what
than
everybody
drama.
says here. So she's talking to Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman about the merits of comedy. And Benedict says, if you can do comedy, you can do anything. I really do believe that. And Amy replied, of course, you don't have to tell me. Every single year at the Oscars, everybody gets blanked, and all the serious people get up and accept and accept and accept, adding it's some hot blankety blank, because comedy is not easy.
All right, ready? Little Miss Sunshine.
Yeah.
As good as it gets.
Okay.
The apartment from back in the day, 1960.
Of course, that's pretty bittersweet. That's some serious overtones.
I mean, doesn't it start with her sticking her head in the oven? Annie Hall, Lost in Translation, Fargo.
Yeah.
These are kind of, they're funny comedy. Are they?
A lot of them are dark comedies.
Annie Hall's very funny.
Yeah.
Dr.
I think it's his best.
Strangelove. Oh, Juno.
Yeah.
Okay.
Juno's
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah.
But those are also very independent films Okay, I like that list, though.
So once every 4 or 5 years, it sounds like.
Yeah, once.
Right. And there's only one.
Yeah.
With the mixture of all the other dramas. Lots of questions surrounded the marriage between Michael Jackson and Lisa Marie Presley back in 1994. Well, in Priscilla Presley's upcoming memoir, she reveals that she did indeed ask her daughter if they had a physical relationship because I guess, like the rest of us, she wasn't sure. And she says Lisa Marie said yes, but Priscilla still did not approve of the marriage. In fact, she was appalled by it. She felt that Michael wasn't marrying Lisa Marie. He was marrying the Presley dynasty. She says, quote, Michael was a manipulative man, and I think he had his sights set on her long before she realized it. The childlike innocence he projected was part of his public mask. She adds that when Lisa Marie filed for divorce in 1996, I could practically hear Elvis sigh with relief. Priscilla's book, by the way, Softly as I Leave You, Life After Elvis, comes out tomorrow.
It's a messed up family.
That is a mental image that you just burned into my brain.
Sorry. How about this? 31 years ago today, in 1994, Friends debuted on NBC. It ran for 10 seasons. 22 years ago, in 2003, Two and a Half Men premiered on CBS.
Man.
And then it was 21 years ago, in 2004, that Lost premiered on ABC. So, as for TV tonight, Monday Night Football, the Baltimore Ravens host the Detroit Lions. It's also the 28th season premiere of The Voice. How about two birthdays?
Two. Let's go two. I'm going to do them just for you. We mentioned Lita Ford last Friday. Her bandmate, Joan Jett.
Joan Jett's birthday's today?
Today.
72.
67. Bang, got it.
Dang.
And I think you're going to get this one.
Okay.
Tony Basil.
Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. 79.
She's older. 75.
82.
Oh!
Those are our two birthdays.
And that is your evening entertainment report here on the Big 550 KTRS.
It's Julie Buck, and I'm here with Jeff Zufall, the Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor at Capital Advisory Group. He's also the author of the #1 best-selling book on the new tax laws called Keep What's Yours. So, Jeff, as we roll into September, what are some good strategies that we can have to save money by the end of the year and help our employees?
Since 1976, thousands of businesses have relied upon the tax strategies provided by Capital Advisory Group to help them create benefits that attract great employees, reduce their future tax liability, and end overpaying their federal and state income taxes. If you are thinking about selling your business or perhaps planning retirement, then let us help you implement tax strategies that could reduce taxes on your savings and maximize your Social Security benefits.
Give Capital Advisory Group a call at 636-394-5524. That's 636-394-5524. Or go online, capitaladvisorygrp.com.
Riverbend Kitchen and More is your Better Business Bureau accredited project partner that is attentive and responsive to your vision from concept to completion. Riverbend specializes in kitchens and baths, but also bars, bookcases, cabinetry, countertops, and more. Proud supplier of Waypoint Living Spaces cabinets, as well as other quality cabinet lines. Call before the end of September and mention KTRS to receive a free stainless steel sink with the purchase of a countertop. Financing available, located in Soulard, Alton, and Mascuda. Call 314-314-7411. Online at riverbendkm.com.
9 minutes before 6 o'clock, Captain Paul, give us one more check of traffic before we head out.
Across Missouri, designated child care providers are introducing children to a variety of fun and free activities through the Missouri Move Smart program. With this program, providers create environments where children and caregivers are physically active and healthy as they learn, work, and play. Parents, ask your child care provider about their participation in Move Smart. Child care providers, boost the health and well-being of the children in your care by becoming a Move Smart recognized program. Sign up at health.mo.gov/MoveSmart.
I'm Mark Miller, owner of Miller Furniture and Mattress, your home for quality American-made furniture since 1927. We offer the largest selection of Amish-made furniture in the St. Louis area, plus quality living room furniture from Flex Steel and Smith Brothers. We carry top-quality mattresses from world-famous brands like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, and Chatham & Wells. Shop our Belleville, Fairview Heights, Lake St. Louis, and Ellisville showrooms. At Miller Furniture, we put the family in furniture.
Be part of the moment as the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra returns home to Powell Hall at the Jack C. Taylor Music Center. Conducted by music director Stefan Denev, opening weekend fanfare for Powell Hall opens a monumental season with a trio of fanfares celebrating the past, present, and future, and featuring Grammy Award winner soprano Joyce DiDonato, September 26th, 27th, and 28th. Tickets at slso.org.
Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start looking and feeling your best with Hair Grow by New Nordic. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com, or at your local CVS.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
All right, time to wrap this Monday up with a couple randoms.
The only major building in Tokyo that Godzilla has never destroyed in a movie is the Imperial Palace, out of respect to the Emperor.
Really?
Everything else, I guess, he's smashed and knocked down.
Burned with his...
Yeah. I tell you, Finn watches these dumb things, and he loves Godzilla. I can't help every time I watch it to wonder, gosh, how many people must have just died? You know, because he knocks down a whole building. I can't imagine the whole thing was empty.
That was part of that Superman-Batman trilogy.
Yeah.
About destroying Metropolis and all that. Yeah. It is, when you think about it, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
But we really don't show the lives lost in any
Never.
of it.
Very often.
Never.
Not very often.
But you know what would happen? People are more likely to donate to hurricane relief efforts if their name starts with the same letter as the hurricane.
No way.
Get out.
I don't believe that.
What if it is? You know, what if your name was Andrew? You know, did you donate to? Oh, I feel so bad.
Guilty.
Yeah. Pong was never supposed to be released. A developer at Atari made it during a training exercise, but Atari's founder liked it so much, they decided to take it public.
Smart.
62.5% of Starbucks stores have another one within a mile.
I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Seems like it.
The average store has 3.6 other stores within a mile.
Wow.
How
That's
about that?
maybe too many.
Too close.
Yeah.
Too close. And maybe we'll ask our linguist about this one. The correct word for a female dude is not dudette. It's dudine.
Get out of here.
Apparently that's official.
Is it?
It is.
That's what it says.
Okay.
Look, I just read these things.
I like dudette, though. You guys, thanks for hanging out with us on this Monday afternoon, the first day of fall. That's crazy. Hopefully you'll meet us back here starting at 3 o'clock tomorrow. And until then, see if you can put a smile on somebody's face.
It's all right. Bet your money all your life. It's all right. It's all right. Don't need a salt to drop your flowers. You through your life. It's all right. It's all right. Do it wrong or do it right. It's all right. It's all right. Don't need to watch you waste your time. Oh no. Oh
no. Find what you love. Love what you find, a total wine and more. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup and delivery available, you'll always find what you love, only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Tired of ads interrupting your favorite news podcast? Good news. Ad-free listening on Amazon Music is included with your Prime membership. Yeah, stay up to date on everything newsworthy with podcasts like The Daily, Up First, and 5 Things.